Hello, welcome back, and I am live once again for the World Cup today. We're going to be watching Denmark versus France. Not really a big game in terms of, France can't get knocked out of the World Cup, but it will be a lot of fun because they both have rotated a lot of players in the side. We are missing the likes of Paul Pogba and Yussuf Poulsen, which again isn't the most fun things in the world because both of those players are really, really good to watch. Yussuf Poulsen, a sort of target man who's been playing out wide, who's been pretty involved in, of course, a lot of the play for Denmark. We're on a stat screen right now. Stephen, is that cool? So the team lineups today for, of course, Denmark. We've got Kasper, Schmeichel in goal. A back three of Simon Kjaer, Christensen and Zanka. Of course, Huddersfield Town centre-half. Into midfield, of course, Larsen on the left. Eriksen and Delaney as central midfield. And Delgard, as a right wing-back. And then there's the front three, Cornelius through the middle, Sisto and Braithwaite. In terms of France, very rotated, but a team I quite actually like in terms of the structure of the side. France, under Didier Deschamps, really struggled to find a good rhythm in terms of tactics and formations. Started the tournament off with a 4-3-3, playing Dembele on the left, Greizmann through the middle, and Mbappe on the right. That didn't work at all. They then moved to a 4-4-2 shape with Olivier Giroud up top, with Greizmann and Mbappe on the wing. But today I think this looks a lot better. Lamar is a left winger. You've got Dembele, who for me is much better on the right wing than the left wing. Into central midfield, Kanté and Nzonzi is going to give them a very, very solid base, which consequently will allow the likes of Sidibe and Hernandez to push on. Now, something that I think France should maybe look to go towards, Tolisso and Pogba really suited with a sort of, a three-man midfield in a way. And for France, you're looking more that where they want to go is a two, so you can play Greizmann and Olivier Giroud up top. So for me, it's an interesting one for, of course, Didier Deschamps and how he set the side up. I think Kimpembe, you're looking at Nzonzi as well as Lamar. Not really first choice, but this is a big, big opportunity for them to get in. In terms of what I'd like to see for France in the latter stages, maybe this 4-4-2 shape with Paul Pogba on the left-hand side, either as a left central midfielder or a left winger, guys. Come on. Of course, Statman Dave Live has been throughout the World Cup. We've been talking a lot of stats and a lot of fun. So make sure, of course, to subscribe if you're new for more content. I think the next game we're going to be doing is the France game. But we'll have some content in between about Fred and his move to Manchester United. A little bit more detailed, scout report type stuff there. So make sure you stay tuned to that. But again, we'll be going live on Saturday, I do believe. And it does depend on who wins this group and which teams we're going to sort of see. But keep liking that video, guys. We're only on 4 likes, 52 of you watching. Come on, guys. Let's do it. Matthew James in the comments, loving the layout. Shout out to Dom. He's been doing some top design work again, the thumbnail, and of course this design that we've got at the moment. Top stuff. But get your thoughts into the comments, get your score predictions in as well. How do you see this one going? Because I could quite see this being a real high scorer, considering that Christian Eriksen is playing in central midfield for Denmark. There's a lot of avenue there for the likes of Greizmann to play in behind there. You've got Dembele cutting in, potentially Lamar getting into that zone as well. There's some space there. Delaney and Eriksen have quite an attacking central midfield pairing. I think that's where France may find some real joy. In terms of the sub-bench for both teams, we are missing Yussuf Poulsen for Denmark, which is, a bit bad. Hopefully he's not injured too much. Other players that may come on and make an impact. We've seen Nikolai Jorgensen come on and play pretty well as a sort of target man. Also in terms of Victor Fischer, hot and cold. Kasper who had a fantastic last season for Ajax when they got to the final against Manchester United in the Europa League. Of course, in terms of France, the big guys there, Kylian Mbappe, Paul Pogba. Guys we'd like to see, Nabil Fekir as well. The Lyon owner, alas, has been playing with Liverpool, saying, Mourinho came for a good chat the other week. Really winding up and trying to get that move through against Benjamin Mendy. Thauvin, I'd like to see a little bit more of Thauvin as well. Really improved himself this season. Scored over 20 goals in Ligue 1, so a player that can really make an impact off the bench, guys. Keep getting your thoughts in, and I'll be answering your questions as well. I think starting Giroud is good. Mbappe is so overrated. I think the sort of what Giroud brings France is that ability to have a target and play off. I think with with France in terms of how they play, they usually have like quite a quick dynamic forward with Olivier Giroud, and that works really well. It's your classic target man, big man, small man combination. You think about Greizmann. You think about players like Mbappe. Both of those guys, for me, have played their best football in like a 4-4-2 shape, where, for Greizmann, more of a second striker position from like a number 10, moving ahead of the line, Mario Mandzukic, and sort of latter towards, his the last few seasons, maybe more of as a striker, not so deep, starting as a centre forward, not from that deeper position. Mbappe as well, best football for Monaco with Falcao. Both of them playing very high, and, with Mbappe playing sort of on the last man, on the last shoulder, which is going to be really, really fun today. You know, with Dembele, Lamar and Greizmann, that pace, if Giroud can get them high up the pitch against the back three, we're going to see a really good game of football today, guys. Definitely going to see a good game, and I think that's going to be very, very interesting. I'm just going to jump into the comments. Why isn't Fekir getting a chance? I think that Fekir would kind of suit Olivier Giroud's position if you wanted to play a false 9 over a target man. Again, you want to get that band of 3 in. That could be quite nice. It'd be like a 4-4-2-0 in a way if you were to play Greizmann and Fekir together. But I like that you have that physicality in Olivier Giroud. Of course, the danger man for Denmark is really Christian Eriksen. 17 goals in his last 20 international appearances. He's really become the heartbeat of the side, and we saw that in the opening game. The wonderful assist he got on the counter-attack. But that was sort of the only time he got the ball in a dangerous area, and I want to see a bit more from Christian Eriksen in this game. But we are moments away from kick-off, guys. Keep sharing the stream on Twitter, Facebook, all the sort of good stuff. Keep enjoying the streams I've been doing over the World Cup. Comment, like, share, all the good stuff. But anyway, guys, we are moments away from kicking off right now. Just about to go off. The last game of Group C, I do believe. Again, there's a few of permutations of what could happen in this group. But again, Olivier Giroud is going to be vital. I think his importance in this side can't be overlooked. We are off for the last game in Group C. We are on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th second, 5th second, 6th second. We're live? Main live. Oh, yeah. You could have just changed that yourself. Stephen Alston a little bit grumpy today. He hadn't had his belly rub yet. He'll be going to the gym and hopefully someone will be rubbing his belly. We've always got to love that. But shout out to Stephen Alston. He's been putting in a good shift over the World Cup so far. Here we have France building up the play with Kimpembe at the back. Kimpembe, of course, of PSG. When PSG got knocked out of the Champions League this season, the only players that really shone for PSG for me was Kimpembe and, of course, Rabiot. Rabiot, a wonderfully gifted player. Only 12 months left on his current deal. I mean, Manchester United could pick him up, but expect France's fullbacks to get really high. You know, with Sidibe. Sidibe, a wonderful player going forward. Had some real knee problems over the last few seasons. Again, at one point was going to get sent home from the French team, but expect him to get into advanced areas with the two holding midfielders. I like this French team more than the French teams that have been selected before, just because the fullbacks will naturally get higher and they've got that protection. Again, in Zonzi, Sevilla, we've seen him play against Manchester United this season and play very, very well. A player that was at Blackburn Rovers, really evolved under Unai Emery. And I wouldn't be surprised if Unai Emery maybe brought him to Arsenal, with Lucas Torreira, of course, of Uruguay, who's been impressing in the World Cup so far, guys. Keep getting comments in and so forth. Keep tweeting me at Statman Dave as well. All that good stuff. But we do have France breaking down the right-hand side. Ousmane Dembele, a few little cheeky step-overs, loses the ball to Denmark, but is recycled by N'Golo Kante, the man that loves to recycle the ball. I think this French attack may be a little bit right-sided today. We have Sidibe again getting forward, a low cross into the box. If you've not seen Sidibe before, that's what he's kind of built his career on at Monaco, especially when they had their 4-4-2. Bernardo Silva would always come inside and become a playmaker at sort of number 10. And then what you'd have there is you have Sidibe bombing down. What he loves is those low crosses across the box. Very difficult to defend against because he's got quite good pace. You know, if he can get behind you and get into those areas to look and cross the ball behind you low, that's how you can catch out like lumbering centre-half. Something that England have done quite well through Kieran Trippier. I've been very impressed with Kieran Trippier in the tournament. You know, with Croatia, you've had Vaselko do that well, but Mendy, if they can get Mendy fit, real weapon on that right-hand side, considering that they play quite a lot of forwards that like to come inside. But a long ball up from Denmark, brought down by Braithwaite and recycled through the wing-back. Long ball forward there. Delaney, new signing for Borussia Dortmund. Very interesting that move went through Werder Bremen. Very, very good player over the last few seasons for Werder Bremen, one of their stars in a way. But expect him to do well at Dortmund, with a new manager, Lucien Favre, coming in. That's going to be so exciting next season. Lovely tangents there, guys. Lovely tangents. That's why you're here, for the tangents. Not tangents like Mark Lawrenson, where he just loses his mind. See you later, Stephen. Have a wonderful time. James, MUFC, is Deschamps aware of Eriksen and co? And that's why he's playing Nzonzi and Kante instead of Pogba to provide protection for the two centre-halves. I'd like to say yes, Didier Deschamps did spot that and understands that there is a threat, but honestly, I don't think so, and he's just rotated the side. But I think that France need to be building on, strong. Oh, we have Braithwaite in the penalty area. Is that a penalty? Could have a VAR decision incoming, guys. That was Braithwaite breaking into the box. Kimpembe, the complete wrong side of him, took him down. Referee's waving on though. I like that. That's brave. There was a question that came into the chat a bit earlier on about what was your opinions on VAR. It was rubbish yesterday. For the Portugal game, Portugal-Iran, it was absolutely atrocious. the referee really bottled it, not because of the decisions he made. It was just that it was slowing things down with continually going to VAR. It's just one of those situations where you don't want VAR every single second because it breaks the play up, and that's the problem with VAR. Referees need to be brave, still make those calls. Yeah, the Cristiano Ronaldo, the penalty that he won was a penalty, and the VAR did sort that one out. But I think you still need to be better at that in terms of getting a little bit more switched on with believing in yourself as a referee. That's the biggest thing for me. VAR's a tool. It should not be the number one choice. And that's the big thing there with VAR, is it's more of a tool than, a sort of fullback position. And I think that's what's starting to happen, that it's a fullback position, which is frustrating. We've just got to zoom in for the Danish coach, who said before the tournament that the French squad wasn't too special. Take that, Didier. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Shout out to iced coffee. Very warm in the UK today. Since sizzling in Manchester, it's probably around 28 degrees, which is mad for Manchester. Usually expect a lot of rain. Guys, keep getting into the comments. Penalty, Adams, question mark there. I think that kind of looked like a penalty. We've not actually had a replay of it from ITV, but that's what it looked like. Anyway, Sidibe, right-hand side, driving forward again, such a confident player to Dembele. Again, if you've not watched much of Ousmane Dembele, for me, I prefer him on the right than the left, both at Rouen and at Barcelona. He's like a natural wide player, very, very good at accelerating and decelerating. Again, one of those traits that Lionel Messi has is that ability to stop and start so quickly. That's how he can, unbalance people with his agility. And Dembele is very similar to that. He's also very two-footed. But we do have Braithwaite driving forward again. He's becoming a good player, this Braithwaite. He's impressed me so far. Kante looking to wrestle him in the penalty area. Braithwaite looking to go on a first cross for Denmark. He's been impressive, the number 11. Carrying the ball well, of course he played for Toulouse. I don't know whether he's still at Toulouse, but he was at Toulouse whenever I've seen him before. A very quick player. He had he had one season where he was scoring a lot of goals, but not been too impressive. But some decent cover work there from N'Golo Kante. Is Griezmann playing? Yes, Griezmann's playing off Olivier Giroud. If you want to check out that, we'll just check out the team news again. Olivier Giroud as the central striker, Griezmann in behind, and then Dembele on the right and Lemar on the front. That's a very good French front four. And as for Denmark, so we're getting a little bit of an update on the application. Stat Zone link in the description below, guys, if you want to check that out. Just half watching the game. Christian Eriksen to deliver from the right. Defended there by, I think it was Kimpembe, headed out for another corner. Kajar coming in and losing the aerial duel. But in terms of Denmark, the system has actually changed. It looks like Stat Zone have got Christensen in midfield. So let's see how that develops. Is it a back three or a back four? Get into the comments below, guys. What are the tactics saying? But Cornelius, Braithwaite and Sisto, a very front three that's got a lot of pace in there. But anyway, back to the game. France defending that corner successfully and looking to start over again. The World Cup's been fun though, guys. Keep getting into the comments. Questions and all sorts. Thoughts on Queiroz? The Morocco manager's tactics did well in a difficult group. Yeah, Carlos Queiroz. I'm a big fan of Carlos Queiroz. Revolutionised Manchester United. Sort of got rid of the Roy Keane era of players and really upgraded it, and they started to be footballers that thought a bit more and again progressed in Europe. Eventually winning the Champions League in 2008. A lot of good Carlos Queiroz work there. When you speak to the likes of Rio Ferdinand, Michael Carrick, they always talk about him. So I was impressed. They had chances though. Iran had a big chance at the end of the game, like 94th minute. If you didn't see it, it was a long ball out. I think Sadar flicked it on. Azmoun flicked it on to one of the substitutes, and he probably should have scored. Crashed a shot that went just past the post, but it was a big chance, and that would have sent Portugal home. It looks like a back four, actually, guys. Looks like a back four. Christensen in defence and midfield. What do you guys think of the tactics that are being put on by the Danish manager? It does look like a 4, not a 3 that was previously reported. Do you think there should be a limited number of VAR decisions per team? VAR retained if a correct claim. That would be quite interesting. That's something that obviously we see a lot in American sports, especially NFL. You get to, you can throw a flag on the pitch is what they call it, and then you review the situation. We do have Griezmann though down the right hand side, Dembele playing in there, low cross into the box, well defended by Zanka at the near post, but it was some good play there. That's what you're going to get when Griezmann plays as a two-man strike force. There's a lot more movement in those wide areas, and I really like that because Griezmann used to play for Sociedad on the left wing, on the right wing. That was his first breakout season. I think he got 17 goals, mostly from the left and the right, but when he plays as a 2, it allows him to vertically drift while you're continually having that middle pivot of Olivier Giroud that's going to hold up the defenders. And again, he got in behind the fullback there. Something that you want to see from your second striker. We'd have Christian Eriksen in the final third, been a long ball up there, Braithwaite on the ball again, who's started very, very well in this game. Eriksen, a pass out, not great there. But guys, keep getting the comments in and so forth. And Zonzi is class, and Zonzi is a very, very good player. Morocco are the best team to not make it to the next round. Yeah, I think they've been very, very good. I think as well with the Colombia, Japan, Senegal group, if whoever doesn't get out that group, I think that's going to be the best third place team. I was very impressed with Senegal from watching them in their last game. I love the movement and Sadio Mane in there, the fluidity of the fullbacks. There's a player that called Salabi that I remember watching from Montpellier and being very impressed. God knows why I was watching it was Bordeaux he played for, sorry. When I was doing some scout reports on Malcolm, he played on the same side as Malcolm and he really impressed me there. And again, he was good for Senegal, but Colombia with James Rodriguez, can't look past him. That pass for the assist he got, fantastic ball. But yeah, Colombia, they're going to start rocking in terms of this tournament. Davinson Sanchez had a very poor game but looked good in the second. There we had Theo Hernandez been unable to control a switch of play, heading the ball out. It did show the penalty, he miskicked it. Interesting. So it was actually Braithwaite going down, not sort of the problem. Cheers. Hello, Dan. Shout out to Dan. Shout out hello into the penalty box. And moving on to the next bit, who do you think would be a good punt for Premier League clubs on the World Cup showing? Golovin. Big sort of, a player that I'd definitely pick up. Juve apparently very, very interested. And if Juve are interested in a centre midfielder, he's a good one. Again, Braithwaite nearly getting played through again, making some good movement actually. Just got in behind the France's left fullback. Some good movement in behind. But in terms of, the stats, when you're looking at somebody like Golovin in terms of Russia, some interesting stats on, of course, the Statman Dave Twitter account. Go and check that out. But in terms of, obviously with Golovin, played 2 games, scored 8 goals, conceded 1, created 18 chances, and obviously 100% win rate. Of course, Russia did go down to 10 men yesterday. But in terms of you're looking at the stats there, 1 game played, 0 goals scored, 3 conceded, only 3 chances created. So that's obviously massively down. That's the point there. You're going from creating 9 chances per game with Golovin into the side, with his ability to cross and so forth, to 3. So he's a big influence. He's a big influence, and he's been one of the breakout players of the World Cup. He's one guy that you'd be looking at to definitely, sign up if you were a top European side. Other guys, Sistu, given if he can sort of, have another good game today against France, against someone like Sidibe, who's very, very good at going forward. That could be a big issue there. Loving the World Cup, Dan. I love the World Cup too. It's absolutely sick. And I even say it. Let's get this party started, guys. I forgot to say the line. I apologise. A question coming in from Bilbo. Who do you think the Premier League top scorer will be next season? Lukaku, Aubameyang, Kane, Salah, or somebody else? I think they're the 4 contenders. Like, Aubameyang is going to be the guy. Like, from going to back watching, I watched Borussia Dortmund Augsburg for my my Philip Max video. Go and check that out, of course, after the live stream. That's so confusing when you're talking about them, because obviously at Dortmund you have so you have Max Philipp, and at Augsburg you have Philip Max. So Philip Max is the left back, 12 assists in the Bundesliga. Did some sort of little bit of analysis on him. Go and check that out, of course, after this video. But again, if he was signed for anyone, it would be fantastic. But going back to the point, Aubameyang was playing for Dortmund in that game. And why Aubameyang's so good, he's very lively. He does miss chances, he does miss easy chances, but he always gets into the correct positions. He's like the modern day Andy Cole in a way where, he's one of those players that sort of needs to have a number of chances and will score, but his movement's fantastic. And I think that's a big thing for Arsenal next season, is going to be under Unai Emery, sort of feeding Aubameyang into those wide areas, into those sort of, positions where he can get through on goal and so forth, is going to be very, very important for Arsenal. So he could be a very good contender. Lukaku, he has really developed so much at United, and you see the goals he scored for Belgium. It's really exciting having someone like that in the Man United team that looks like they just continually improve. I love players that continually improve. That's what I want to see from my players. I want that work, because in the world of business it's similar. You've got to continually improving. There's a Japanese word for it, kaizen. We're going so off topic. This is so much fun. Kaizen, which means continual improvement. It's it's sort of what a number of the big companies in Japan, it's like their mantra, where they basically want to continually develop their staff and so forth. And when you have someone like Romelu Lukaku that is bagging goals for fun, we're talking the goals he scored against Tunisia, fantastic individual goals, real quality, transitional goals, through ball, Lukaku, letting the ball ride across himself, cracking it back across the goal. We want to, as Manchester United, we need to feed Lukaku more, or United need to feed Lukaku more in these situations. Quick transition, look for that through ball. We all know Pogba can play that pass. Fred looks like he can play that pass. With Sanchez in there, want to see a bit more direct side of course, of Romelu Lukaku. The second goal as well, a very different goal, but more of, taking it Ball, through ball from Munier. A player that I'm impressed with, and then that little dink finish. Lovely, lovely stuff. And again, two very different finishes, but that's what you get from Romelu Lukaku. A wonderfully gifted, talented centre-forward. But here we have France playing it around the midfield. Lamar dropping into a central area. Again, Lamar apparently turned down Arsenal last summer after his wonderful season, of course, at Monaco. Heavily linked with Liverpool as well. He will be playing for a top European side. Just a very talented player, very good at coming in or staying wide. He's just a player that I enjoy watching. Bernardo Silva and him was so good as two sort of number 10s coming inside. I can't think of the South American word to describe that. Interiors, I think it is. We have Theo Hernandez wide left, receiving a long ball out there. Little ball into the path of Olivier Giroud. Lovely little layoff. Oof, shot comes in, Olivier Giroud. I'm just wondering whether that was a penalty. Again, Theo Hernandez, brilliant link-up play with Giroud. What Olivier Giroud's best strengths as a player, firing the ball into his feet, so good at bringing it down or playing like one touch, two touch there. That's why the relationship with Griezmann is so good. That's why he's so important to be a pivot for France. That was some brilliant play there. It looked like it was a good tackle. Giroud getting a shot on goal. Well saved by Kasper Schmeichel. Now we do have a set piece. Is the stream okay? The stream is okay. Just my computer is having a little bit of a letdown. Guys, but we do have a corner for France. I've seen some questions about peanut butter banana syrup sandwiches from Ronan, and shout out to those. They are so sick. But we do have a corner for France. We'll talk about them in a little bit more depth later on. Corner for France, left hand side. Lamar, what can he do? Can he deliver? We've seen a hell of a lot of goals from set pieces so far in the tournament. The vast majority of goals, or over 50% of the goals in the tournament, have been scored from set pieces. So we're going to look at that decision again. It looks like number 14 from Denmark has actually kicked through the challenge there. I do believe that is the fullback. Let me just grab the dude's name. Corner comes in, header on goal just wide from Raphael Varane. But a little bit of a worry that you don't want, of course, your opposition centre-halves winning those aerial duels. The challenge was coming in from Delsgaard. Let's go with that. Delsgaard, the fullback for Denmark. Again, decent, not a bad header, good win, but lovely play from Olivier Giroud. Love Olivier Giroud. So underrated. Like Arsenal, all that time they were looking for a number 9. They had one. They had Olivier Giroud, but he was constantly on the bench, constantly not playing. You know, Alexis Sanchez playing as a centre forward, and instead of him, yeah, I like Alexis Sanchez as centre forward, but those together in the 4-4-2 would have been disgustingly good, guys. Right, back to the comments, because we've been chatting a little bit of widgets here. I'm just going to check out the guys. I've got some stuff from the live production. Question coming in from the live producer. What do we think of Hernandez as a left back? I like him going forward. Again, for me, it'd be Mendy every single day of the week, but Mendy still looks like he's not back to the form at Monaco. And I don't think Didier Deschamps truly trusts him yet. Hernandez, of course, sort of, behind Marcelo in the pecking order. Apparently he's got a questionable attitude. Both the brothers, Lucas and Theo Hernandez. Of course, Lucas Hernandez has had a run-in with the law over in Spain, allegedly. Just got to throw that in there just in case. But Theo Hernandez, I do like when he goes forward. He's nowhere near as good as Marcelo, but will become a very good player. Very quick, very comfortable in possession. But Braithwaite looks like the danger at the moment for Denmark in the opening sort of 16 minutes of the game so far. But France retaining the ball again. Lamar getting on the ball in central areas. Griezmann dropping deep for the ball, a little bit of play there. And again, here's the man, Theo Hernandez wide on the left, looking to come back on himself. I'd rather see him go to take on the fullback. That's what I'd rather see, but some good movement for Antoine Greizmann. Looks to play it back to Milan, but poor passing there. Anyway, guys, but I think it's time to look at some stats. What do you reckon, comments? Time to look at the stats. We do have Denmark on the counter here. Some good defending, though, from Kimpembe. Love a bit of Kimpembe. Wonderful little player. Very good on the ball as well. The game where Barcelona got hammered in the first leg, Kimpembe, one of the best performances from centre-half I've seen in a long time. That was, like 2 seasons ago when Neymar still played. But in terms of what we've got so far, in terms of the stats, Rafa Varane completed most passes on the pitch for France. And again, there's the main man, Sidibe, getting high, getting advanced, combining. Here we have him down the right-hand side, cuts the ball back, lovely little dink ball. Defensive header from Christensen, cleared away by Denmark Braithwaite, but of course N'Golo Kante with the ball recovery. Griezmann, a little poke pass forward, and again Sidibe. Lovely ball to Griezmann in the penalty area. Some decent defending from Zanka. Zanka's really impressed me actually in the Premier League for Huddersfield. Done really well. The step up from obviously the Championship was difficult for Huddersfield Town. He was one of the players that sort of shone and looked like a really talented individual. But of course, Sidibe, the second most passes. No chances created so far, guys. Come on. But Christian Eriksen, some passes in the final third. Lovely, lovely stuff there. Again, that's what you're going to get from Sidibe, crossing into the box. Raphael Varane taking people on. Let's get some tackle stats. Sidibe recycling, recovering the ball as well in sort of, important areas. And we've got a goal for Peru. Peru are 1-0 up. What does that mean for the group? Let's get that on straight away to the group. What does that mean? So that'll put Peru on 3 points. They're still not going. Of course, they're eliminated from the World Cup, but that'll be nice. Peru have played some really good football. What this means, though, for Denmark is that they are currently going through on 5 points. France will finish with 7. Australia 1 in bottom position, and Peru with 3. Peru have been so positive. If only they could score goals. They create so many good chances. But again, the group, France top at the moment, Denmark second, Peru and Australia. So this is a pretty big game. Pretty tasty game we've got here for, game in terms of tackles. Nothing really shining. Let's go back to the main live, guys. Keep getting into the comments. Keep liking the video and subscribe if you guys are new. Again, we've had this offer for we've had this thing for the entire World Cup. If the live stream gets to 750 likes, we'll be giving away a Nigeria shirt. That one there. If you don't want that, guys, if you just want to jump into the comments as well and hide anyone that's spamming the chat, just click on the side and do hide user. That'd be fantastic. Sorry about that, guys, but Peru, the comments are going wild on the Peru 1-0 up. Dan is going wild. We're all enjoying it. We're all absolutely enjoying it. Apparently, David De Gea is being dropped by Spain. Idiotic. That's a question. That's a comment coming in from Dan. That would be ridiculous. Yeah, the stats don't reflect a good tournament, but the only save he's made was a 1v1 save. When a player was clinging for on goal. The other goal he conceded the other day, obviously one from a corner, can't really do anything about that in terms of where it went. Sergio Ramos losing a really key aerial duel. The other one was another 1v1. Spain, absolute muppets. Anyway, questions coming in. Opinions on Pastore replacing Nangland. That's a good thing. So, of course, Nangland has moved to Inter Milan. Said that Roma didn't love him anymore. Very sad stuff. Had another very good season for Roma. Again, was brilliant in phases in the Champions League semi against the mighty. Against Liverpool. Let's not say the mighty Liverpool. That just came out. Sorry, guys. But Nangland this season, of course, he's played 46 times, 6 goals, 11 assists. He created nearly 2 chances per game, 2 shots per game, 1.5 dribbles, 1.6 tackles. He's directly involved in a goal every 210 minutes. Complete midfielder. I think what he will give Spalletti's Inter is that sort of cutthroatness in the final third. Nangland is quite a direct player. He's either going to take you on, look to play a through ball, or get a shot on goal. Some wonderful passes against Liverpool in those sort of last 10 minutes of both games when Roma were fighting back and nearly got there. The ball over the top for Edin Dzeko, I do believe was Nangland, also scored the cracking goal. And that's the thing with Inter, they've been a bit poor in the final third. There was a spell through Christmas time where they just weren't scoring any goals. And started to become a bit of a problem, and hence why they struggled to get that Champions League spot, and it's sort of pushing them over the line. Nangland has had some directness, but I like Pastore under Di Francesco. Pastore was brilliant for Palermo in Serie A. They played like a 4-4-2 diamond, him at the tip of the diamond. He was so good, so talented player. And his career's been injury prone. We've got Eriksen with a corner in, defended by Kimpembe, recycled, headed out by France. And then they're going to get back in. Yeah, they are. Sisto looking to cut back on himself. Sisto, such a wonderfully gifted little player. Denmark do recycle through Christensen, I do believe. France have been defensively set up a little bit better. Again, having the likes of Kante and Zonze just gives them so much balance in central midfield. Long ball over the top by Simon Kjaer. Miss hit. But yeah, going back to what Javier Pastore would do for Roma. It's just going to be really refreshing to see him again. Hopefully he'll be nice and fit. I think the Italian game really suited him. At Palermo, they're a very counter-attacking geared side where they play on the break with their 3 forwards, the number 10 Pastore, and the 2 strikers. I believe Cavani was one and Micheli was the other one. And they'd be really quick to break, and they're a really exciting team. And Pastore, like many attacking midfielders like Mesut Ozil, do so well on the break because they can find that pass, or they can find that moment to go round you at the right time. And Pastore was so good in Italy, and I'm quite happy that he's going back there. The move to PSG was a little bit stupid. It was weird that PSG were buying a lot of Italian players, and the likes of Verratti haven't really kicked on in their careers. So talented, these individuals, but not really got to that next level. Very, very frustrating. But we are 23 minutes in, guys, of the live stream between Denmark and France in the Russia World Cup 2018. We have France currently on the ball, building up from the back, nice and slowly again. Sidibe on the ball, forward pass to Dembele. Let's see a little bit more from Dembele. At the moment, the defensive player that's marking him is quite tight and looking to get on his first touch. So that is Larson looking to get on his first touch and not let him turn. And what I've seen from Dembele, maybe moving a little bit more, running in behind, then spinning off, running in behind, spinning off, or moving inside, a little bit more movement. That's where Cristiano Ronaldo really developed his game as a winger. Instead of being that guy that's always looking to receive like Anthony Martial does, develops himself to run fullbacks, pull them, basically tie them out and then receive. Here we have Dembele, though, cutting inside. Olivier Giroud again, so some brilliant hold-up play. Handball? Nope, not been given. Referee ruling out like that. Some good refereeing. Sidibe with another cross, another ball into the box. Looked a little bit suspect. Sidibe, though, muscled out by two of the Danish defenders. Zanka coming over, and Sisto, clearance from Zanka up the pitch. France will recycle the possession. This game's been quite interesting, quite tactically. Of course, we expected Denmark to be a back three. They have, in fact, gone with a 4-1-4-1. France with their traditional 4-4-2, should I say traditional, or the system that they should be playing. What's your guys' opinion on Pogba on the left as a left midfielder? Do you like that? Do you like that idea? That's the idea I'm trying to sell you guys at the moment. Back into the comments. Stat attacks. Peru scored. Is Housen on the chat? No, Housen is at the gym doing some lifting. He's had far too many pizzas lately, so he's just going to go and do some good stuff. Thoughts on Bielsa at Leeds? That is going to be hella exciting. Did you see the interview with him recently? He's saying how he watched every single one of their games from last season, so the 51 games. Although Hernandez, left-hand side, looked to cut back. No real movement there from any of the French forwards. Poor cutback. I want to see a little bit more from a fullback in that area. Getting your head up before you cross. Very important, though. Recycled through Nzonzi. Nzonzi's a player that's going to keep things ticking along. Not like dictating in a way that like your cruisers, but he's a player that just moves the ball, keeps it moving, and that's very, very important in certain things. Lamar winning a free kick from about 30 yards out. But in terms of the Bielsa chat, so Bielsa said that he's already watched the 51 games Leeds played last season and the two pre-season friendlies that I think they may have played or they played last season. He's just a great manager. It's going to be such an interesting moment. We're just getting a replay of the Zanka handball. Just hit him on the upper body. Right in the boob. Boob ball. But yeah, Bielsa, style of football is going to be great. I loved his Marseille team. His Bilbao team was brilliant to watch. He just plays a really good style, and to have that in the Championship is just going to upgrade the Championship. What it's really good for is young English coaches. Having the likes of Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Conte, Mourinho, all these top managers in the Premier League, the effect is going to go down to the Championship. Now we're seeing top managers go there. Very, very exciting times for English football, especially considering the under-17s and the under-18s and 19s, how well they're doing. But expect Leeds to be like the hipster team of Europe next season, seriously. Bielsa loves it, absolutely loves it. Long ball, a free kick whipped in there. Gone out for a corner, defended by Simon Kajar. More things coming in, guys. Hernandez looks like a real decent player. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I'd like to see him again, like I mentioned, taking people on a bit more, getting his head up when he's crossing. Two big skills of fullbacks in the modern day is that. We have another corner for France. Dembele, right-hand side. He's got some targets in there, some big lads in Zonzi, Olivier Giroud, Rafa Varane, Kimpembe. What can he do? Ball into the box. Giroud climbs, defended by Denmark, and they'll recover the ball from France, guys. I love Bielsa, but he's hit and miss. Yep, he is really hit and miss. Absolutely crazy stuff. Upon Johnny Fitzpatrick, Pogba is an attacking midfielder in a 4-2-2-2-2. Would get the best out of Pogba and Sanchez. Would it get the best out of it? Yeah, it may do. I'd like it to be more of a 4-4-2. I think United, when they played that 4-4-2-2-2 against Chelsea, it worked because of the tactics of the 3-4-3 and how United were going man for man. They played that against Palace the week later or midweek after that, and instead of having the shape where they dropped into a 4 in midfield, they were still sitting as a 2 and a 2, and that's why Palace were 2-0 up at half-time. United had to change their tactics, went to a 4-2-3-1. So I think what United need to do if they want to play that system is have a 4-4-2 as their defensive shape, which wasn't the case against Palace. And of course, Nemanja Matic with a wonder goal to save United's blushes. A very poor team performance. So I think it's more of a 4-4-2 I'd like to see with Pogba, or even a 4-2-3-1. Emil, shout out to Emil. He's back. Hello, Statman. Hello, buddy. I love Bielsa, but he's hit and miss. We read that one out before. Imagine if Werner went to Real Madrid. I'd love that. Timo Werner was so good for Germany. What a performance in that second half. He carried them back with his direct play on the wing. You know, as a direct winger, such a versatile forward. That's why I regard him as one of the best young attackers in the European game. This game's yet to kick into some real life, though, and Kante with a good ball forward to Griezmann in between the lines. A decent challenge from Braithwaite, though. Griezmann recycling, linking with Lamar. Lovely little bit of body swerving there from the Monaco winger. Griezmann again with the ball. Whipped in there. Nobody really option. But a decent pass from N'Golo Kante. I like that from Kante. It's one thing that criticism of N'Golo Kante is when he's playing defensive midfield, sometimes he's far too square. Like the first game against Australia, he was brilliant winning the ball back. I think he won something like 13 tackles or made 13 tackles, but he was poor on the ball. Here, though, we've got a counter-attack from Denmark. Mandanda comes out. There's a collision. France do come away with the ball, asking for a penalty. I like this refereeing. This is top quality refereeing. See you later, VAR. Sling your hook. I'm going to make all the big calls. Whoever this referee is, absolute shout out to the referee. Maybe we'll find out. Get in the comments. Who is this referee? Guys, lovely, lovely stuff. More comments coming in, guys. Keep them coming in. I'll answer all of your questions. We do have, though, France on the little dink ball over the top. Giroud controls on his chest and is volleyed away by a pretty sturdy Danish defence. But it keeps coming back, wave after wave. You see, this is what you get when you play two strong DMs or two ball-winning DMs, is you can keep this pressure on. And that's what I like. You know, Foot Manager's a great game, and it does replicate football a lot. You know, when I do play a 4-2-3-1 with a second striker, when I'm playing bigger sides, I do like to play two ball winners in there, or two players that are going to look to win the ball, and then to look to play a bit more on the break. But what you sometimes find is that because you've got two ball winners in there, you keep winning the ball and you dominate possessions. There's one of these things where, you look at the top sides and they play each other. The team that usually plays the most ball winners, or the use workman-like players, will usually go on to win the game. That's the difference at the top level. You have these talented players, but it's all about work at the top level. It was a great attack from Denmark, though, breaking down the left, and that low ball into the box for, I think it was Christian Eriksen making it. Yeah, it was Christian Eriksen. Hernandez wrong side. Yeah, I think the keeper does very well there. Mandanda coming off his line, good stuff there. Opinions on Rooney going to the MLS? Yeah, I think it'll be cool. We'd love to see Rooney scoring goals again, playing as a striker. I'd just like to see him sort of take those shackles, the LVG shackles off him, and just play go back to that sort of street football. That's what I'd like to see, a bit more freedom. But it is interesting, obviously, the MLS moving away from that designated player model where you're getting old designated players and moving more to getting players at like 26 to 29 as a designated player, sort of in the prime of their career. Maybe less talented players, but it works well, and you've seen the teams that win their MLS usually do that, go down that model. Toronto with Sebastian Giovinco are a great example of that, a very workman-like side, with Giovinco moving, I think when he was 26, getting in them sort of the prime of his career. Lamar down at the minute, injured. Brilliant idea. Always thought Pogba's dribbling and running ability plus the physicality we'd better use wide as well. Think about his shots, like very good at striking coming in on his right foot, or alternatively playing on the right hand side. I'd like to see Pogba out wide next season, maybe in the bigger games. You think about that assist he got against Newcastle, absolutely sold. So I think it was I'm losing his name, the winger that used to play for Bournemouth. Get in the comments, guys. Who am I talking about? Matt Ritchie. Bingo! So Matt Ritchie sold him down the river. Wonderful ball to the back post for Anthony Martial. And given that United really lack a right-sided player, maybe that's a new option as well. But yeah, great comments coming in, guys. Keep them coming in. Would help United, given that he has defensive liability in the middle. I think he's only slightly... There's a weakness when he's playing in the two pivot. I like him in a three. I think when he did so well at Juve, why he got this good sort of a repertoire of having a good defensive game was because he played as a shuttler that would go out to the flank and defend the flank, and that's what he would do on the left, on the right in midfield. And again, it would give United another guy. It would almost look like a bit of a lopsided 4-3-3, like the traditional Brazilian 4-3-3 when they won the World Cup back in the 60s. Anyway, keep getting the comments in, guys. I'll go through all the comments. If they're good comments, of course, they're all good comments. What do I think of Royce? I feel he'd be better centrally. I think that what Royce, again, needs maybe is... that freedom. I think he was very good, to be honest. One of the better players against Sweden going forward. Again, same with Timo Werner. They were good. And I think playing out wide, giving them the freedom. Lovely little check shot on goal by Dembele, like that. cutting inside. See how two-footed he is? He's absolutely sick at football. Little check inside, drop of the shoulder, fake shot, and then cracked it with his left foot. That's how good, you know, a lovely effort, decent effort, you know, curling away, but decent stuff from Dembele. The first little bit we've seen from him, such a talented player, you know, no wonder he went to Barcelona for all that cash. Keep getting the comments in, guys. Good commentary. Cheers, buddy. Pogba or Verratti? Pogba. Sorry. You know, Verratti 2 assists, 2 goals last season for PSG, considering the talent, the amount of ball they have. That's pretty poor for the French League. Pogba, Premier League, 6 goals, 10 assists. Of course, they are different players in different positions, but you'd expect Verratti, as the controlling midfielder, to be getting more assists to Neymar, Cavani and Mbappe, of course. Just got question marks on his mentality, seriously. Love the studio background from Dan again. James, MUFC. Who'd be your ideal right winger for United? Do you think Valencia could go back there and Dalot at right back? That could be an option. I'd like to see Dalot at right back. Full stop. I'd like to see Dalot just play as much as possible. Seriously, Dalot as much as possible. I like Leon Bailey. He's probably my favourite right winger at the moment. Really, really creative. Very, very... he has that edge to him at the moment where he sort of, you know, can pick up the ball and bam, smash it in the top corner. Technique, but again, left-footed, so it means that Dalot and his attacking ability needs to be used and not, you know, needs to not be restricted in a way, especially at wing-back. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful player Leon Bailey is. Keep getting the comments in, guys. Pogba on the left of a 4-4-2 diamond and Lingard at the point is, but definitely need to upgrade to the fullbacks to play that system. Yeah, lucky Luke, exactly that. Fullbacks, so key for United. Again, plug in the video. Philip Max, we'll be talking about him at half-time, but go and check out that video after this live stream. You know, he's a guy that could give that attacking element, but defensively, slight question marks, but we'll look about that at half-time, of course. Anyway, guys, it's been a good game so far. 34 minutes gone. In this game, you know, some decent play. Again, not a dead rubber, but both teams so comfortable right now with Peru leading Australia 1-0. That will put both these sides through. Hernandez low ball into the box, easily defended again. Come on, Hernandez, think a bit more before you deliver. Slow yourself down. Bring out your inner Joshua Kimmich. That's what I want to see from you, buddy. Just keep going into the comments, guys. Keep the comments coming in. Opinions of Sarri to Chelsea would be wonderful, but polar opposite. Going from a manager like Conte, defensively, counter-attacking orientated. Collectively in the pressing is the only similarities between sides. We have Olivier Giroud in between the lines, a little ball over the top. Griezmann falls over. What are you doing, Griezmann? But again, Giroud showing his ability as a footballer. But Sarri would be a decent signing for Chelsea, but again, you'd be going away from having players like Bakayoko in central midfield, Kante in central midfield. You'd need to... Fabregas would probably do really well under Sarri, maybe moved as a DM, which would be quite nice. That could work out pretty well. But again, they'd need a lot of signings. You know, Morata under Sarri... See my face, I'm not convinced at all. And that's the problem with Chelsea as a football club. Going from style to style to... It's like basically the polar opposite, which is a bit of a problem. Back to the game, though. Again, Lamar doing some... Oh, no, sorry, Dembele receiving the ball in central midfield, and Zonzi. Let's see what Zonzi's doing as a little pass map. I'd like to see him popping the balls over. Again, brilliant play from Olivier Giroud holding off, but it is recovered by the Danish central midfield. Let's get Nzonzi. So Nzonzi's pass map. So what my sort of point of Nzonzi is he's not going to like break you down and sort of, you know, find that killer ball, but he is going to move it quickly to your attackers. And you think about that Monaco setup that did so well, Bakayoko, Fabinho. Both players very simple on the ball. They'd win it, they'd chip it. They'd win it, they'd ship it. You know, playing to the likes of Lamar and Bernardo Silva. But that's why I like Nzonzi. He is that type of player. Similar with N'Golo Kante, who played that wonderful pass actually. That centre pass to going sort of forward to, I think it was Antoine Greizmann in between the lines. I like that from Kante. I'd like to see more of that. And switches of play as well, because I do believe he's a very good player, but I don't know whether it's he doesn't believe in his ball-playing ability sometimes. Here we have Raphael Varane advancing, Sidibe, the Danish, with 10 men behind the ball, or maybe even 11 men behind the ball right now. Kante deep in midfield. Head up, square pass open out. What's he going to do? If there's a little thread in between the lines? No, just a simple pass to Nzonzi. But I do like N'Golo Kante in this role. I think he's massively improved with the ball at his feet under Conte, which is nice. It's nice to see players improve. I always like players when they improve. Got to keep improving. France, in terms of chances created, of course, Sidibe, a little layoff. A lot of anything big. Dembele, retaining those balls in the final third, linking well with, of course, Sidibe. That might be a solution for Barcelona, getting Sidibe in at fullback. That's the big thing that they're looking at the moment. Again, Sidibe's crossed more than any other player. Maybe he needs to find his target. More take. Again, you expect a little bit more from Dembele. I think at Rouen in France, he was completing around 6 per game in terms of dribbles. So I want to see a little bit more. I think that was that way. He sort of shifted it inside, took the guy on. But no, it's been a semi-decent game so far, guys. Keep getting your questions in, because of course we have a little bit of a podcast vibe on Statman Dave Live, where you get your questions in and I chat about them all the time. It was Isaac Hayden that he took on. I think that was right, yeah. I think he may have done... I think he dribbled... I've forgotten, Matt Ritchie first, and then took Hazen on, and then the chip. But cheers, thanks for the comment, guys. Keep netting him in. Dave, do you think the 4-3-1-2 would be the best formation for United next season? Yes. I'd like to see the diamond. The only slight issue for the diamond in the Premier League is that a lot of teams do play 4-5-1s. And it's quite difficult just getting a little chip ball forward from Christian Eriksen, the Danish playmaker, an absolute metronome. Decent defensive work there from Lamar. Counter-attack opportunity here for France. We have a 4-on-4. Dembele coming inside. What can he do? Head up. Ball forward to Greizmann. Brilliant first touch from the Atletico Madrid. Shot on goal, curled in. Decent counter-attack from France. I like that. Lamar doing some really good defensive work there. Breaking the play up, winning it back, and then breaking. I like that from France. Lovely touch from Greizmann, getting out his feet and then looking to curl it in. Not really catching it. A little bit more power needed, maybe striking across. But a decent, sort of well held by Kasper Schmeichel. Of course, Peter Schmeichel's son. We've heard that so many times by the commentators, it almost gets boring. France, though, cleared out here by Lucas Theo Hernandez. Apologies, guys, there. The brothers in arms. Braithwaite, right-hand side, what can he do? A little bit of checking back inside to Delaney. Lovely little ball there. Here we have the striker from Norway, out wide area. Little cut back from Christian Eriksen. What can he do? Lovely little step over, roll it back into midfield. I want to see Denmark being a little bit more direct in this area, like going at people. They were in advance there, and they didn't quite do anything with the ball. The centre forward Cornelius was in a really good area behind the fullback, behind Theo Hernandez. Starting to become a little bit of an issue that for France in a way, that they're getting it in behind Hernandez, and Kimpembe's having to get pulled across. Maybe watch out for that in terms of the tactics. Again, Benjamin Mendy, a much better fullback. I expect him maybe to come into the competition. I'd like to see more from Benjamin Mendy at that top level. But Hernandez, a little bit of suspect defensive play there. Maybe we need to see a little bit more from Nzonzi covering. But we do have Dembele in behind, right-hand side. First touch, good. Can he cut it back? Chips it to Olivier Giroud, headed out by Delasgard. Decent play, though, by Dembele coming into the game. Foul committed by Sidibe. On Sistu, free kick for Denmark. Back to the live, let's get to the main live, guys. What do you think of this shirt as well? Shout out to the Cameroonians. They deserve to get to the World Cup just on this lovely jersey. Just get fun on this show, you get all the good stuff. Back into the comments, guys. So the 4-3-1-2 would be the best system for United. I think that would suit them playing 2 centre forwards, but tactically could be an issue in the Premier League, as we like to see teams counter-attacking with wingers. That could be the only issue. But I did very well on Foot Manager, actually. 2 seasons ago with United, had a rotation of a 4-3-3 and a diamond, keeping that 3-man midfield and then rotating around. That's what I'd like to see from Mourinho, that 4-4-2 diamond as well as a 4-3-3. They'd be the 2 systems that I'd play and flip between two, similar to Zinedine Zidane's Real Madrid. Anyway, guys, keep getting the comments in. Do you reckon Liverpool United will be a good game pre-season? Yes. Always a good game between the two clubs. There's a little bit of beef after, of course, the 2-1 win at Old Trafford. Marcus Rashford with the brace. That could be a bit fiery, so definitely stay tuned to that. That, in fact, may be on the Statman Dave YouTube channel. Lovely content coming up next season, guys. Get excited for that. Seriously, that is a reason to subscribe. Guys, again, like the video. Like that goddamn video. Keep smashing the like button. Keep liking the video. Telling your pals about it and keep getting into the comments. And I've got to be scrolling up here, guys. I've got so many good comments coming in. Thanks. I really appreciate the questions. So many good stuff in here. Back to where I am right now. So, which 3 clubs will get relegated in the Premier League? I'm going for Cardiff, Huddersfield and Southampton. I don't think Southampton will go. I will be doing a prediction video. Bilbo, that's definitely going to be coming out, but I don't think Southampton, I think they'll recruit a bit better, but of course with someone like Mark Hughes in charge, it's just such backward thinking. So frustrating for a forward thinking club. My granddad is actually a Southampton fan. He used to take my mum to the Dell ages ago, and I then used to go to Man United with my mum when we had a season ticket. But Southampton, I don't think they'll go down. I don't think Wolves will go down either. I think Huddersfield will struggle again. Cardiff will struggle. May see Burnley as well. They got, like, Burnley's expected points shows that they were sort of hot and cold in a way, where they were winning games 1-0, 2-1. With the Europa League, with that extra game, expect Burnley to struggle. Heard it here first. Max Phillips, a good signing for United. Who do you think could be on the semis of the World Cup? Well, in my World Cup chart, I think I had Portugal, Croatia, Brazil and Germany, but that was pre-tournament. I think Croatia will definitely be there. I think if Germany sort their stuff out, they'll be there. Spain are looking good. Ball over the top, Griezmann in behind. First touch good. Laid off to Giroud. Giroud fires over. Olivier! Don't let me down like that, buddy. But that is the duality of, it's been flagged off for offside. The liner was a little bit slow there, but that's what you get from Antoine Greizmann. Oh, that is a brilliant run. Love that. Slightly delayed there. Lamar dropping deep. He's looking good, Lamar, so far. Probably the best player on the pitch for me. But a brilliant run from Griezmann. That sort of second striker position. Runs in behind. Found, but slightly offside. Giroud, though. Get your body over the ball, lad. Lovely, lovely stuff there. I think Belgium, France and Brazil and Germany will get to the semis. Could be good. They're all looking good, but don't disrespect Croatia, don't underestimate Croatia. They're looking so good. Who do I think the top scorer at the World Cup will be? Cristiano Ronaldo, Harry Kane and Lukaku are going to be there as well. They're the top three. What's your opinions on Armstrong moving to Southampton? From Celtic, I don't really watch too much of the Scottish League, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm more like your European League, so not good. But Southampton always have a very good record for finding these talented players. How many goals will Lukaku get this season? 30. For sure. What do I think of? Would you be worried about Liverpool next season? Supposedly additions of Fekir and Alisson. I think that'd be two fantastic signings, along with Fabinho and Keita. They're going to be good next season. They're going to be a very, very good team to watch in terms of going forward. They'll have a lot of fluidity in the final third. But, signings sometimes make a bit of a mess of the tactics, so could be a bit of an issue in the first few games. Again, though, we have Griezmann, deep position. I don't want to see Griezmann there. I want to see Griezmann higher up the pitch. Dembele again, cutting in, shot over the bar. Been lively, Dembele. Lively on that right-hand side. I would definitely play him over Mbappe in the tournament on the right wing. Mbappe, Griezmann, they're basically second strikers, centre forwards, poaching centre forwards. I think playing them wide, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of an Aaron's use of him wide last season. I just love him as a centre forward. I think he really causes defenders issues when he's drifting wide. Again, what a point I made before, a pivot, and then one of them drifting is what I want to see from Dembele. Say again? What a change in the second half. Live production skills from Ben. Ben is a hero. What would a change in the second half from the two sides? Let's have a little bit of a look at that. So in terms of the bench for the Danes, I'd probably look to potentially to bring on Kasper Dolberg at some point. I don't think Cornelius has been troubling the French defence, and again a false nine in that system could be quite tasty. Currently have Lamar on the left-hand side, a little through ball from Griezmann. Giroud not making the run. In terms of for France, I'd like to see probably a little bit of Paul Pogba. I'd like to see him on the left wing maybe. But Lamar's playing quite well. Maybe Pogba just somewhere, anywhere, central midfield. With Nzonzi, that's what I'd like to see. Pogba and Nzonzi, does that work? Maybe a little bit of Thovan as well, and Benjamin Mendy. So I'd like to see Thovan, Pogba and Benjamin Mendy. Get your subs into the comments, guys. Just get all that stuff in there involved, all the beautiful stuff. What do you think about Pogba not starting in the French team? I think he's just being rested, to be honest. I think that's what's going down right there. How will Burnley's pragmatic side work in Europe? They work very well. Think Atletico Madrid, how well they do. We are on the second minute of added time, 46 minutes gone, and we have a Danish corner. Christian Eriksen. If the Danes do win this game, they will be going top of the group, so it's a pretty big one there. And let's get up the World Cup chart right now. After the free kick comes in, header on goal. Defended out, Antoine Greizmann. Here we got a break on for France here. Greizmann, some brilliant work there, carrying the ball from his own penalty area. We've got a 3-on-2. Can France do something? Oh, that is a fantastic tactical foul, that. Give him the cheese, lad. That was beautiful. Zanka, that is such a good tactical foul. That was evolving to a 4-on-2 counter-attack. Brilliant play from Antoine Greizmann, carrying out the back. What a tactical foul. Beautiful stuff. I love that. I love a tactical foul. I applaud them as much as goals. Seriously, they stop goals. That was a 4-on-2 situation that Jorgensen's come back and taken out Antoine Greizmann. Great defending. Shout out to the main man, Zanka. Lovely stuff there. Just looking for the World Cup wall chart. So let's get that bad boy open. So what I've got at the moment, I've got France playing Argentina. That was with Argentina second, which is a big game. So maybe you want to come second in this group. The other one, Croatia versus Denmark. No, you don't want Croatia. That is half time, guys. France 0, Denmark 0. That's been a good game. I've quite enjoyed it. What do you guys think? Get into the comments, guys. We'll be rolling a VT about Philip Max's move to Manchester United very shortly. Dave, you smell great. Dave, you smell great today. Thanks for that, Matt. Keep getting your questions in, guys. We're answering them at the half-time break. Dembele, the future Ballon d'Or winner, kind of agree that he looks so good. Would I like to see fulfil back at United next season? Yes. Either right back, defensive midfield, central midfield, centre half. Just want to see him back in the team. Again, I thought he was wasted out at Palace. Again, when you have a manager and he gets sacked, it's just difficult for a player like to get in. Anyway, guys, it is time for the half-time VT. DJ, spin that record. Are we spinning it? But anyway, guys, let's move on to his performance against Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga. One of the things that I frequently mention on Statman, Dave, is that when you're looking at these guys that are talented individuals in European leagues, always look at their performance against the big dogs. In the Bundesliga, of course, it's Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. Yes, Borussia Dortmund didn't have the greatest year, but they're still a top team in Germany. Against Dortmund, Max was pretty decent, especially going forward. The big thing that you saw in that game was his crossing. Arguably could have had 5 assists if the Augsburg forwards could have put the ball into the back of the net. Kaubai having a number of opportunities, Gregoritsch as well in the penalty area. But the most interesting thing about Philip Max's deliveries were they were all quite different, showing his different range of technique in terms of crossing the football. The assist that actually counted, the cracking ball in for Kaubai, was from that left wing. Augsburg having a throw-in in the Dortmund half, a really poor clearance from Marc Bartra. He clears the ball, slicing it to the left wing, where Philip Max is advanced. He drives forward, shapes the cross, sort of making Piszczek drop off a little bit, looking to go closer to his centre half and making a back four. He fakes that, pushes a bit further forward. Then the bit that I really like about Philip Max's delivery is how he slows himself down before striking the ball, again taking another touch before slowing his foot movement down and then putting a great ball into the penalty area, which is of course swings out away from the keeper into the corridor of uncertainty, and of course Kaubai is at the back post to head back across the goalkeeper, and it's goal time for Augsburg. The big thing there though, what I like about his ability to cross the ball, is that he can do it in this area where he's slowing himself down, whipping it from deep into the penalty area. Again, an asset that could be used for Manchester United. In terms of that, that was one of the assists he could have got. There were 2 more in open play. Again, very different techniques. We had one late in the game that was a ball whipped in again, first time cross from a deep area. Again, something United struggle with in the Premier League is crossing from these deep areas, or crossing with quality from these deep areas. Something that Max Philipp would instantly add to Manchester United. And we saw that, a great ball to the back post for Gregoritsch. He should have pretty much scored the goal and made it 2-2 and drawn the game in the Bundesliga. But again, it's that quality, that first time delivery. We've seen him crossing on the run with the first sort of assist that he had, the sort of show, slowing himself down, brilliant ball in. We've seen first time crosses. And another big thing that he likes to do is set himself up. Receive the ball, set himself up with a fantastic first touch, and then whip it into the area. Again, we saw that against Borussia Dortmund, creating a great chance again for Kaubai in the penalty area. Moving further forward, those set pieces is where, again, Max Philipp really comes to the forefront of this Augsburg side. Not only can he take corners, not only can he take free kicks, he's also got a long throw on him, something that I would like Man United to maybe adopt if they were to sign Max from Augsburg. In terms of the corners, they're always into that sort of dangerous area where the keeper doesn't know whether to come or whether to stay on his line. Again, from the right-hand side, it's usually swinging in with that left foot, and on the left-hand side, it's usually swinging out. But it's always in this sort of channel, that's really difficult for a keeper to come out. A number of assists that he's got this season from corners, always in that channel, always playing on sort of the 6-yard area, either going to the near post, a number of assists for Kaubai have come from being that near post ball, or alternatively swinging it to that sort of back post area, especially from that left-hand side for, again, headers back across goal. But the delivery from set pieces from Max is absolutely fantastic. He's got great technique in terms of putting the whip into the penalty area, and the trajectory is very good and difficult for keepers to deal with. Similarly to when he takes free kicks, again putting the ball into those areas that are very dangerous for a keeper to deal with. And also can look for the goal. You know, we saw a goal against Schalke this season that he whipped the ball in from the right-hand side, an in-swinger that just went straight into the back of the net. Again, adding goals to Manchester United's set-piece area that struggles. Long throws, again, something that United could work on if adding that to the game. Some physical players, you know, that at the United team right now, the likes of Paul Pogba, you know, the two centre-backs can get nice and high. If Philip can, you know, whip the ball into the box with his arms, that trajectory, Rory Delap, eat your heart out. But we've got to move on to, of course, you know, his weaknesses. We spoke about his strengths against Borussia Dortmund, his ability to cross in a number of different situations, but keep that quality, you know, both from open play and close play. The problem, though, with Max Philipp potentially is his decision-making sometimes is a little bit wrong. You take the first goal that they conceded, Philipp had an opportunity to clear the ball with the head from the corner, and again, the ball landed. Yarmolenko with a brilliant backheel, goal time. But Philip was defending that near post area, and if he's got his body right into the correct position, could have cleared it. The second goal was a little bit more worrying because it was a real poor decision. In terms of what happened, there was a ball that went into the sort of channel between the centre half and obviously the left back. Max really sort of didn't make a decision. The left back came over, Hinteregger, and he looked to, you know, open himself up and just clear the ball. Max had a sort of moment where he could have cleared it back down the pitch. He decided to nod it back to the keeper. Too short, Aubameyang getting in behind, recycle it through Yarmolenko, and Kagawa chips the keeper. But again, that decision-making will improve with age, but it's something that he needs to work on. Not only that, I think with Yarmolenko, he was standing off a little bit too much. He didn't want to get beat by the Ukrainian forward. So in terms of what I'd like to see a bit more is being more aggressive, both when, you know, Yarmolenko would be dribbling at him or when he's defending that wide area, getting a bit closer to stop that cross. Something that he needs to maybe improve in his game. A little bit different to Dalot. Dalot for Manchester United looks like a great defender already. Max Philipp looks like an unbelievable attacker, but needs to add that defensive side to his game, especially against Borussia Dortmund. But in terms of the stats, of course, the 4 chances created against Dortmund, the 1 assist, and 12 crosses coming into the penalty area. If Man United want to add some quality from that sort of left-back area in the final third, Philip Max would be the perfect guy. But Mourinho needs to do some work on the training ground on his defensive game. Well, we are back, guys. That, of course, was Philip Max's move to Manchester United and where he played sort of for Borussia Dortmund. If you want to see more of that video, it's on my channel, so go and check that out. He's an impressive player, a player that looks to get forward at every single opportunity and will be vitally important to Manchester United if they were to sign him. But there's other left-backs on the market. Guys, get in the comments. Who do you think United should sign at left-back? The likes of Alexandro? Or do United go really deep and go for someone like Jordi Alba, David Alaba? You know, someone that could really upgrade that side. Or maybe Jose Gaya at Juventus, at Valencia, all that good stuff. Keep coming into the comments. Again, share the video, like it, all the good things like that as well. But yeah, we are going to chat about the game, chat about the first half right this second, of course, on StatZone. The link for StatZone is in the description below. So if you want to go and check that out, go and check that out straight away. Again, it's been an interesting half. I think the big thing from the first half is in terms of how the Danes have defended really well as collectively as a unit. You know, sitting in sort of this 4-5-1, they've looked really good. You know, whenever they drop back to their own penalty area, they are overloading that area with their own players in the box. And I think you want to see a little bit more of Griezmann and Giroud in, of course, the Danish penalty area, sort of getting in there, making those runs. Again, no shots on target so far in the game for France, which is maybe a little bit of a problem for them. Again, Rafa Varane, a lot of sideways passes, not breaking any lines. It was a little bit different to his last few games for France, where he's been playing those passes into midfield. Maybe the likes of Paul Pogba could come on and sort of sort that out, guys. Could be an important thing for them to push forward for the next game or so, is to have that passing. You know, what you're always going to get with Kimpembe as well, rarely misses a pass, you know, isn't going to break the lines in a way. So I think you need someone to step up and get on the ball. That's the only thing with France, is they lack a sort of true deep-lying playmaking midfield. Just getting a replay of the Peru goal. Corelio, long ball out the back, ball over the two centre-halves, misdefended by Trent. Corelio on the left-hand side looks to cut back. I think it's Corelio. No, Corelio was on the other side. Oh my God, he smashed that. Lovely half volley there. I think the number 9 was the guy that pulled into the channels, but a brilliant goal there for France. Anyway, back to the game. I think Dembele's really come into the game in the back end of the half. I think he's starting to really get a foothold on this in terms of, you know, taking people on, cracking shots from range. Like to see that from Dembele, just, you know, looking to, you know, advance and so forth. You know, being a little bit more brave on the ball when he's received it. You know, a lot of backwards passes here, a lot of through balls to Antoine Greizmann, which is nice. You know, Sadibi combining with him, which is always what you want in terms of your right back and your right midfielder. But in where his passes are going, you know, I want to see a little bit more maybe to Griezmann. And a few balls that have been like down the line that have looked really, really good. That, you know, some real good appreciation for Ousmane Dembele, a wonderful player. The players that I've been impressed with, of course, is Lamar. He's looked good. What I like about him as well is he's dropping kind of like deep and, you know, getting on the ball in those sort of areas and looking to thread and then advance himself. You know, that fantastic, you know, counter-attack that he started with a tackle, you know, moving forward, recycling the ball and then, you know, pushing forward into the opponent's half. But it's been an interesting game so far. I'd like to see a bit of Pogba on the pitch, maybe to start the, you know, get the chances flowing, a bit more from Griezmann as well, moving in and out. That's what I want to see in this second half as France play Denmark. This is a big game for both of these sides. Again, it is facing basically who's going to face Argentina or who's going to face Croatia. If you're a side right now, you don't want to face Croatia because they have got their shit together. They have everything together at the moment. They are so focused on, you know, in creating and goal scoring and having an idea of what they're doing on and off the ball. That's the key to it. They're the guys at the moment that look the best in the tournament for me. Dalic has got his team playing so well. You know, first game a 4-2-3-1 when they need to win it with Kramaric as an attacking midfielder. Second game a sort of 4-5-1 against Argentina, sitting deep, allowing the three centre halves to have the ball and then engaging after that with, of course, Brozovic, Rakitic and Modric in midfield. They just look really, really good. So this kind of game is a cup final. To not play Croatia and play Argentina, that are in disarray at the moment, complete disarray. They may not even been going through. You know, they had a big result against Nigeria. So it's a really interesting one there, guys. Really, really interesting. Do I think Croatia can reach the semi? Yes. I had that in my prediction pre-tournament. I've got them beating, in the knockout stage, I've got them beating Denmark, of course, for this game. In the quarters, I've got them against Spain. I think they'd beat Spain at the moment. Spain looks so vulnerable to if you win the ball high against them. So many opportunities where they mess about playmaking in that sort of centre-half area and the transitions on. And as goal time, they're also weak from set pieces. What have Croatia got in abundance? Height and ability to deliver from those areas. And that's a big worry for them. And then, of course, you know, in the semis, I've got them against Germany. But the German team at the moment, Croatia are beating them, guys. Croatia are beating them. Didier Deschamps wouldn't even make Man City look attacking. What an absolute waste of attacking talent. That is coming in from the Geordie, Golovin. That is completely correct. I couldn't agree with you more. That is an absolute joke of what he's got. And, you know, the riches he has and how poor they are on the ball. Just not good enough. Not good enough from Didier Deschamps, guys. Given the individual strength of the French players, they can just not gel as a team. They'd struggle against any other powerhouse. Yeah, I completely agree. Matt Johnson, they would definitely struggle. Will the France game end 0-0? Do you think it will be that way? Maybe that is the what will happen. It's just one of those things where it just looks like it's just a kind of a dead rubber in a way right now. A real dead rubber in terms of what's going down. It's frustrating. Didier Deschamps is a frustrating manager. He was rubbish in the Euros. He's been rubbish in the World Cup. But the man still gets paid to coach one of the best attacking teams in world football. Seems to be like a simple thing, right? Simple thing for certain people to get jobs at the highest level. Wonderful stuff. But fair play to Deschamps. You know, he loves it like that. Is Deschamps the French Sam Allardyce? Maybe, but maybe a little bit more swag than Sam Allardyce. At least Sam Allardyce's teams have direct options and they do play direct football. With Olivier Giroud and Griezmann, I'd probably play direct football. So maybe Sam Allardyce would be better for them as a team. Deschamps is the type of guy that plays centre-backs at full-back. He did in the first game, right? Pavard and Theo Hernandez is more of a defensively minded full-back than an attacking one. I don't think he's that great in the final third. Pavard is a centre-half. I just don't get some managers sometimes. I just don't understand it. Again, going back to some stats, the main man, Ousmane Dembele, completed more passes in the final third than any other player on the pitch. 15 out of 15. Look at those brilliant switches of play as well. Just shows his ability as a footballer. And why? Someone in the comments said he'd be future Ballon d'Or winner. He's going to be up there, guys. He's really going to be up there. What a talent. At Statman Dave has stolen the World Cup. Yes, we have. We've got the real version behind me. Who's going to make the Argentina lineup? That comes in from Paul Lucas. In fact, apparently it was leaked. The lineup was leaked. Let me just try and find that for you guys. Actually, Ben, if you can find me the lineup, the leaked Argentina lineup, and just send it to me, that'd be fantastic, mate. So I don't have to not talk on this beautiful show. But it has been leaked, so we have got that lineup. Apparently, Willy Caballero has been dropped, and you know they're looking a bit different. All there. Statman, France need a controller like Rabiot, Pogba, Kante. Yeah, exactly. I can really agree with that. Rabiot is very good at defensive midfield. And again, it's one of these weird things where Deschamps doesn't know what he's doing. Maybe even throwing Pogba there. Why not? Play him as a DM. See how he rolls as a DM. Aiden, should I start my coaching badge at 17? Yes, definitely. Do it. The only thing I'd say is just believe in yourself. Be confident. Command people. You know, don't go into your shell when you're doing your little sessions. You know, be the guy that's in charge. You know, you want everything set up, you want to be calm, but you also want to be collective and confident. That's the little tips I give you. But yeah, 17, perfect age to start. You want to get in the game as early as you can, because that's where you're going to get to the, you know, the top sort of levels of world football. But we're just about to kick off, guys. Just about to get into the second half. Hopefully we can have some goals. Hopefully we get some more. Dembele passes in that final third, and we are away. The 45th minute, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. That's for you guys at home if you want to sort of sync up with the Statman Dave live. I don't believe we've had any changes at half time. I'll just double check that. I think it's the same sort of lineups at the start of the game. Yeah, the only thing that happened in that first half was that Zanka yellow card for him, that brilliant tactical foul. Love a bit of that. But Denmark starting the first half, looking to throw the ball into the French half, centre half at fullback. Brilliant tackle from N'Golo Kante winning it back, but Zanka with the recycling of the play. Can't understand why Dybala can't get in for the Argentinian team. Seems such a waste. Any thoughts? Yeah, it's a really weird one. It's just getting Messi and Dybala. They're so similar in terms of they are left-footed that like to play sort of inside right coming in. Perfect stuff. You got the team? Perfect. So apparently the Argentina team will be set up in a 4-4-2 or 4-3-3, sorry. So Armani in goal, Tagliafico at left fullback, Otamendi, Marcado and Salvio make up the back four. Enzo Perez, Mascherano, Banega as the midfield three, and then Di Maria, Higuain and Messi. That looks good. That looks good for me. I think that's a better blend. I would have liked to see maybe Pavon starting ahead of Di Maria. Di Maria was so bad in that first game, absolutely rubbish stats. Failed to create a chance and get a shot on goal in 70 minutes of football when they had like 70% of possession is utter rubbish. He was too one-dimensional. Gets the ball, cross it. Di Maria used to be a lot better in terms of decision making in the final third, but I like that a bit more. Maybe that'll transition to a 4-4-2, but Banega needs to start. Banega for Argentina when he's played has looked like the only guy that's going to do anything. Imagine Banega playing for this France team. That'd be pretty absolutely sick. And Zonzi, Banega, Pogba. I'd like to see that. Ball out from Dembele. Chested back from Lamar. Theo Hernandez advancing in the final third on the left-hand side. France pushing again down that wing. Are they going to come back inside? Yeah, they are. We have N'Golo Kante on the ball in central area. Little chip ball. Again, that's when Kante maybe needs to improve his play, just slowing himself down in that area. Could have played a ball into feet there. Griezmann crossing, potentially a chance there. France, a foul by Olivier Giroud. What's wrong with Antoine Greizmann? I think he needs to stay higher up the pitch. I think the big thing when you're playing... see if we can do this with player influence, actually, on the StatZone app. Again, link in the description below. Let's give it a little bit of a refresh before we load it. See how that one looks. Can we see that? That's probably not the greatest one to do. So in terms of player influence, I'm going to have to hold it up for you. You see how Griezmann's a little bit sort of deep? You want him a little bit more the penalty area. If you look at the player influence, it's where his average positions, if you imagine where the middle of his name is, that's where he is on the pitch. So again, he's a bit deep. The big thing that I think with Antoine Greizmann is that what you want the Griezmann to be playing up against a team in this, if you're playing a weaker side, you want Griezmann to be high up the pitch. You want him to be almost staying up against the centre halves and running him behind. And then if he's going to come off, make that move from centre back, then come off. What he's doing at the moment is he's coming towards the ball and trying to get on it. I don't want to see Griezmann there. I think we can see that from his pass map. I'll just get that up for you in a sec. And his pass is received. So Griezmann's his pass map at the moment, it's coming a little bit towards the ball in a way, sees completing passes from the centre circle and so forth. And I think if we look at his passes received as well, it's a little bit too deep in a way. See where he's receiving nothing in the middle area of the final third, zone 14 as it's known in football. Zone 14, that's right. Let me just double check that I'm saying the right thing. Zone 14 football, yeah, that's the zone outside the penalty area. And it's basically where the majority of chances or goals are created from, and you're not seeing Griezmann receive the ball there, and that's a big problem. France are being quite lateral when they get to the final third. They need a bit more incision. Paul Pogba would be someone that could bring that. Maybe Tolisso could bring that as well. But that's the problem with Griezmann. He's too deep. Get higher up the pitch, play with Olivier Giroud, get closer to Giroud. You fire into Giroud's feet, then you play. And that's a big problem from France at the moment. You know, their possession play is so poor. No idea of what they're doing. But that's an answer to your question, buddy, in the comments. Where has Lamar been? Is that like on the pitch? I think he's been playing good. Griezmann thinks he's a bigger player than he actually is. That could be a fair thing. Has De Gea lost his magic? Absolutely not. All the media reports state that Messi dictates inclusions and exclusions in the team. They really miss someone like Icardi. They don't. Icardi is a bit of a bad... I think he's a bit of a bad egg in the side. I agree they miss someone like Icardi in terms of goal scoring, maybe a poacher type player. They got that with Gonzalo Higuain. I think they miss maybe more someone like a Dybala. I think that's better. We have just seen a substitution though. The main man is on, Benjamin Mendy. Woohoo! Time for the fullbacks to get nice and high. Maybe we'll see some more chances created in this second half for France. Mendy, a top player going forward. Hernandez off, Mendy on. I've just lost out my fantasy points though because I've got Hernandez, and he's just been subbed off before the 60 minutes. Thanks, Didier Deschamps. Not only are you subjecting me to this poor football with no idea, you're stealing fantasy football points off me. Disgusting stuff. Griezmann, though, edge of the area, looks to play the through ball. Again, you don't want Griezmann there. You want Griezmann receiving the through ball. You want someone like Lamar or Dembele receiving in that area. Jesus. Absolutely Jesus wet with his team. Griezmann again looking to get a shot on goal, just terrible back lift. If Statman Dave does not get a job on Sky Sports or the BBC Sport, there'll be something wrong in the state of Denmark. See what I did there? Yeah, well played, buddy. 2-0 Peru. Matt Johnson coming into the comments, guys, live reporting there from Matt Johnson. 2-0 to Peru. Lovely stuff. That means that, of course, Australia unfortunately will be going home from the World Cup, and this is pretty much a game for first and second place. Not even qualification anymore. 2-0 to Peru. Is that correct, guys? Let's get onto a website that will tell me if this is correct, guys. Not Facebook. Facebook will not tell me that. That is absolute rubbish. 2-0 to Peru. The ITV stream is even behind that. Not even reporting that's gone in yet. The second goal coming in from Guerrero. Again, the player that was about to miss the tournament through a drugs ban. Or allegedly drugs ban. Let's get that in there. But yeah, lovely stuff so far, guys. The next live stream, I do believe, will be on Saturday. It will be Argentina against either one of Denmark and France, so make sure you stay out to that. Benjamin Mendy, low cross into the box. Griezmann receives it. Again, Griezmann, poor. Get a shot on goal, lad. Did you see what I was talking about about Sidibe getting those low crosses? Mendy does the same thing where they're wide and they cross low. Really like that. Again, that's why Monaco created so many chances. They were getting a replay of the goal. Beautiful. Guerrero in the penalty area, volley across the keeper, fantastic finish. Credit to Peru, they deserve it. Best fans at the tournament from all reports over in Russia. Lovely stuff. Peru deserve it. They really deserve it. They play a good style of football. It's an exciting, attractive style of football. Would have loved them to see them go through, but of course, Denmark and France will be progressing in this tournament. Sky Sports should definitely hire Statman Dave. Yeah, tweet him at Sky Sports. Hire Statman Dave, of course. I was on Sky Sports a few weeks ago, but only as a pundit or an analyst coming in to call in. But yeah, I'd love to be on Sky Sports. Gary, me and you, buddy. You don't want to be working with Jamie Carragher anymore, do you? You want to be working with the Statman. Foul on Varane. What's going down here? There's a clip to Peter Schmeichel wearing a lovely shirt. Great shirt, Peter. Is the challenge here. France have just conceded free. Cornelius. That's a kick out. Not going to get VAR'd. The referee giving him the shake of the head. The slow shake. Imagine the Ballon d'Or without Messi and Ronaldo. That's going to be crazy. James MUFC, love watching Peru. Yeah, same here. And they just like that sort of cutthroat final finish. That was a weird foul as well. It's been given to a free kick to Denmark, but it really looked like Raphael Varane got kicked. But here we have Christian Eriksen, around 30 yards out, shaping to shoot. Will he play the pass? Will he play the cross? Absolute master from set pieces, though, Christian Eriksen. Here we have shot on goal, shot in, been spilt by Whew, Mandanda spilling that shot. That was dangerous. Cornelius coming in there. I'd say someone like Yussuf Poulsen would have gobbled that one up, and that would be 1-0 to Denmark. But poor goalkeeping. No wonder Hugo Lloris is the captain and the undisputed number one, of course, being rested for this game. That was sloppy. Anthony, hi Dave, how are you? I'm doing great. The World Cup's great. A little bit fatigued. That's why I'm bashing through the coffee today, just because of obviously the World Cup's quite intense period in the group stages. Hopefully having a little bit of a break over the sort of the break in between the groups and so forth. But thanks for asking how I am, man. Statman Dave, you are brilliant. Keep up the excellent work. We appreciate your hard work. No worries, buddy. I appreciate you guys in the comments interacting. This is all about community. Dembele on the left wing, ball into Olivier Giroud. Good hold-up play. Lamar, can he get a shot away? Blocked by Denmark. That's some good hold-up play by Giroud. Again, it's what you get from the big lad. Really good at protecting the ball when he's in those types of areas in near the opponent's penalty area. And I like Greizmann being away from him as well. And again, one back by France. Lovely stuff, recycling in central midfield. Nzonzi looking to spread the play. Sidibe. Lamar, is he going to overlap him? No, inside, receives the ball. Lamar, wonderful player, really technically gifted, but plays backwards. We want to see some more forward passes from this France team. Denmark camped in their own half with all their 11 players behind the ball. Lovely setup here from the Danish manager. Really, really good organisation. I can really appreciate that. Ball goes into the feet of Dembele. Poor first touch and cleared away from Denmark, guys. Australia are so bad. I thought they were good in the first game against France. They looked good. They looked up for it. They are getting a new manager after the tournament, I do believe. That's going to be what's going on for Australia. They're going to be changing the management up, so I think their manager at the moment is not, sort of in there now. James MUFC, thoughts of Danny Higgin, Botham as a pundit. He's one of the best with Gary Neville. Yeah, 100%. Danny Higgin, but he's so sick. Great guy. Shout out to Danny. Really, really good stuff. If you haven't checked him out, go and follow him on Twitter. And he's just a great guy. Really doing some really good work in the tactics world. Fair play to him. He's really found a good niche, and his co-coms is brilliant as well. So Danny, shout out to you, buddy. Are France resting players? Yeah, I do believe they are. Pogba would definitely be in the starting 11. Like some Mbappe, although Griezmann and Mbappe are very similar, they're probably going to be in the team together. I'd like to see Dembele though starting one of the knockout games. Dave, what's your thoughts on Rui Patricio to Wolves on a free transfer from Johnny Fitzpatrick? Yeah, fantastic signing. Good goalkeeper. Wolves are building a really, really good squad with the likes of Ruben Neves and Diogo Jota. They've got a really good Portuguese influence in that team, and again, Portuguese manager as well. Played a wonderful style of football, a 3-4-3 last season, but more of a progressive 3-4-3 than the Chelsea defensive 3-4-3. Looking to create, looking to get on the ball and so forth. Guys, keep liking the stream. We're not even on 100 likes yet. We are nearly at 60 minutes in the game. Bash that like button straight away, guys. Keep getting your comments in. Do you think Griezmann would do well in the Premier League given the physicality he doesn't have? Question coming in from Paul Lucas. I think he'd do well, to be quite honest. I think he's an elite player, an elite goal scorer. But again, I just think for France, he's just a bit of a missing part at the moment because their play is so poor when they're on the ball. No idea. Imagine him for Man City. He would be sick. Of course, staying at Atletico Madrid, which is lovely. I want to see Costa, Griezmann. I just want Gabby to win the Champions League. He deserves it. He really deserves it. Fantastic servant for football and Spain, and one of the best defensive midfielders in recent years, 100%. So good for Atletico Madrid. Shout out to coffee, especially iced coffee. Lovely, lovely stuff. Is a 4-3-3 defensive or offensive? It depends how you play it. I'd say Chelsea's is more of a 4-5-1. A 5-4-1. 5 defenders, 4 in midfield, 1 up front. Whereas when you see the teams that play it progressively, like your Hoffenheims that play a similar shape, a 3 sort of 5-1-1, or sometimes they play a 3-4-2-1. I think it's slightly different. I think Chelsea's is more a defensively minded shape than an attacking shape under Conte. I think there's other teams that do play it a lot better. There's a lot of German teams that play it a bit better, but also the likes of Wolves playing it very well. It's just dependent on what you do. I think any system that you play can be offensive or defensive, dependent on your instructions and how you put the system out and so forth. Like very much, a 4-2-3-1 can be a defensive shape. On and off the ball. It's just dependent on whether you want the ball or not. But counter-attacking is beautiful. Love a bit of counter-attacking. Ball in from Sisto over the top. Well defended from Kimpembe. And Sidibe will head. Cool, a dodgy header there. Again, Christian Eriksen. Oh, shot on goal there, guys. Just wide, actually. No shot on goal. An effort from Christian Eriksen, head of the area. Poor defensive header for Sidibe. What is he doing there? 50p head. Absolutely bottled that one. Looked to sort of flick it out the area, but it just bounced off one of the bits of the 50p, and the chance on goal from Christian Eriksen. Wide, though. Wide of the post. Here we have France on the attack once again. It's been an attack versus defence training session. This game has been not seen enough from Denmark on the break. They're going to have to be playing a lot better if they want to progress to the next stages. You want to see, your counter-attacking defensive sides. Yes, the Denmark organisation is very, very good in this 4-5-1, but there's no threat going forward. Seems a bit weird consisting, you've got the likes of Sistu playing in an aggressive manager. Not good, but we are seeing Victor Fischer coming on. He will be replacing Sistu. Maybe he's going to have a little bit of a rest. Back to the comments, guys. Back to the comments. Thoughts on William Carvalho? I think he's kind of gone backwards as a footballer, I'm going to be honest. I don't think he's as good as he was 2 seasons ago. I don't think he's developed. Before he broke his leg, honestly, one of the best DMs for me, well, the best young DMs in world football, but he looks a bit laboured in possession now, and he's not doing the same things as when I first watched him, using his body to protect the ball before switching the play. He just looks a bit flat for Portugal. Portugal looked flat in midfield, and William Carvalho, I expect more. Danilo looks a bit of a better player, the Portuguese Danilo, than him at DM. France, Argentina, or France, Nigeria. Imagine France and Nigeria. That would be a sick game. With Musa on the counter-attack. It'd be lovely. Musa scoring more goals than, of course, the mighty JJ Okocha. Let's do some stats. Let's do some stats, guys. That's what we want to see. What's going on in the game of football? Of course, we've got the stats up right now. In terms of shots, we had a lot more shots in the second half. Christian Eriksen getting involved in that game, that last one from the edge of the D that we just chatted about there. And still Rafa Varane controlling the tempo. Let's have a look at N'Golo Kante. This is the problem with N'Golo Kante. As he comes into the game, I mentioned that pass forward that you can see in the middle of the pitch, the forward pass from deep. But look how sideways that is. Especially when they're camping in the opposition's half, it's too flat. You want to see a bit more penetration from N'Golo Kante's passing. That's what I'd be telling him from if I was Didier Deschamps. Of course, Conte, one of the big things that Conte consistently has said in this last season is, want to see a bit more from Kante when he's on the ball. It's so funny saying Conte and Kante, a real tongue twister. But it's not really good enough. I want to see a bit more from you, buddy. Let's have a look at Nzonzi's pass map as well. So he's trying to take a little bit more risks, a little bit more switches of play in there, but again, keeping it nice and short. Different to Kante, where he's going pretty much side to side, but could be an issue for France in the latter stage if they play a team that sits deep, like Croatia. Against Argentina, I think France will blow them away on the counter, but if they face Croatia, that's when they're going to have a real problem. Again, more stats to DB creating chances, but not in the right area. You want to see him hitting that byline a bit more. We're not seeing much of him in the second half. Delaney, though, for Denmark on the right wing, wins a corner. Kimpembe defending that area reasonably well. He's still there. Still got 100% of his passes completed in the final third for Ousmane Dembele. What a talent. What an absolute talent. Still going short. But again, moving to dribbles, Greizmann doing some good work in his own half. That wonderful run where he went past 2 players before he was broken down. The only real chance France have had where they've opened up Denmark on the counter-attack for them, the only time they've had that sort of space, and was Greizmann driving from his own area. The best sort of thing Greizmann has done is sort of playing a bit more street football-y than, playing sort of looking to get on the ball. We don't want him there. We want him in the opponent's faces. Corner coming in, though. Punch out by Mandanda. Shot potentially coming in on the edge of the area. Yeah, we're offside there, guys. Yeah, flagged by the official. Oh, France counter-attacking advantage played by the referee. Good. This referee has been brilliant. The game's been poor, but the referee's got 10 out of 10 so far. Dembele coming into his stronger right foot, looking for the overlap. Poor pass. First pass he's misplaced in the final third. God damn it, Dembele. Brilliant recycling of the ball there from Nzonzi. This is the weird thing with France. They're going to have to work out a midfield. Pogba with Nzonzi with Kante. That's what I'd like to see. I don't think Deschamps is going to do that, though. Not in a million years. What was that? Lamar's just played a pass off the pitch. Absolutely rubbish stuff. But again, in terms of tackles as well, Dembele, 100% tackles completed as well. Guy's got some serious talent, guys. Let's get into the comments. Who do you reckon will win the Ballon d'Or after Ronaldo and after Messi? Dembele? Get into the comments, guys. Get into the comments. Would you like to see Varane at Man United? Yes, Rafa Varane is the second best centre-back in world football behind Sergio Ramos. Diego Godin, number 3. That's my ranking. Personal Statman Dave ranking. Any thoughts on Savic? Yeah, Milinkovic-Savic is a very good player. I think some of the criticism he's had at the World Cup by certain people, he doesn't really suit playing as a number 10. like a single number 10. At Lazio, of course, it was 2 number 10s. Luis Alberto would get on the ball and create. I think it was 14 assists in Serie A this season. And Savic would play as a sort of second striker, but a guy that makes his impact in between the lines in the final third, looking to play one touch, two touch. I think if you develop your game around him and you're looking for him to be the playmaker, you don't see the best of him. He's a goal scorer. He's a guy that's going to be causing threat with his physicality and his skills. You don't really want him dictating. That's what Luis Alberto did for Lazio again, playing as a single attacking mid in the 4-2-3-1. Maybe for Serbia they should have maybe looking to play that Lazio 3 sort of 6-1 model would have been better for them, but they didn't. They looked alright. Keep going. Who's better, Deschamps or Jose? Jose won the Champions League twice. Don't forget that. Jose is one of the greatest managers of all time. Don't forget that, guys. Jose Mourinho needs more time at Manchester United. If you're a United fan that wants Jose to go now, it's a bit crazy. You want Jose to be at United for at least 2 to 3 more seasons, or at least a few more seasons, because he's one of the greatest managers of all time. Can't forget that. You can't be cutting that. Ferguson took a few seasons to get going at United and became the best. Give people time. 100%. Moving back to the comments. Man United have signed Phil Neville's son. Yeah, apparently it's true. Yeah, and apparently he was at City before, I do believe. So we've got into the comments. Ballon d'Or winner next. We've got Neymar. We've got Isco. We've got Leroy Sané. We've got Neymar, Lukaku, Kane, Bentner, Mitrovic for the Ballon d'Or. That's what we want to see. Great comments, guys. I think Timo Werner would win once he moves to the big. Good stuff from Matt Johnson again. Good stuff in the comments. Isco though, whew, what a talented player. Just a wonderful talent. Isn't he? Great at football. So diverse when he's on the ball as well. That's the weird side about him. He's a technically gifted player, technically gifted attacking midfielder, like your Silvers, your Matters, those types of players. But he finishes, and that's the sort of difference with Isco. Very, very good at putting the ball into the back of the net. Rangers FC. What do I think of Gerrard at Rangers? I think it's going to be good for both Rangers and Liverpool's youth teams, because they'll all get some game time in, of course, Scotland. But again, it's going to be interesting to see his style of football and so forth. I'm kind of excited for that. Hopefully he can bring that back. Olivier Giroud just getting stamped on there, off the pitch at the moment. Denmark winning the ball back. Referee not blowing up for that. Well, you're going to let him back on? Why are you stopping play? Continue playing, Denmark. Come on, guys. Dave, what do you think of bringing up Demi Mitchell for left back? Not too keen on that. I think what United need is quality. They need someone that's going to fit in. Asencio, that's a great shout. Stephen Kingham, great shout. Asencio, I'd love Asencio to play a little bit more minutes for Real Madrid. Again, the next manager, Lopetegui, is going to be interesting to see how he plays, if Bale stays. All the questions that are going to need to be answered, but more Asencio. Such a talented player. More Asencio, more fun. That's what I say anyway. It's a shame we're not watching Australia-Peru for 2 goals in that game. This one was still on a 0-0 classic. Absolute 0-0 classic. De Gea surely has to be in the running for Ballon d'Or. Archie. Yeah, I think so. If he continues his ability and so forth, that'll be absolutely fantastic. Love the use of the whiteboard. Whiteboard tactics. That's just going to be so much fun. As a manager, drawing things. But it's absolutely beautiful. In terms of what we've got coming up on, of course, the Statman Dave YouTube channel, we've got a scout report on Fred. Although we have a break down the left-hand side, cross comes into the box from from Mendy over here, and that's been given as a foul. Absolutely blown out there. Foul in the penalty area by, of course, Greizmann. Again, videos coming up. We're going to have the scout report for Fred that will be going on Friday. Saturday, I'm just looking at my diary. I do believe we have another live stream going on Saturday for the Argentina game. Whoever Argentina are going to play, they look like, if they're going to get into second, or Nigeria game, should I say. We all want that shirt to get as far as it can, don't we? And I think they look really good in their 3-5-2, actually. Substitution for France. Griezmann comes off. Fekir comes on. Griezmann has been pretty poor today. I think there was that one moment where he broke through and got them on the counter-attack from a defensive corner situation, but it's just not been there from Antoine Greizmann, really. Let's have a look at his stats. That's what we want to do on this, the live streams and so forth. 2 shots on goal. They're both pretty poor, very tame shots. Easily saved by Kasper Schmeichel. In terms of his passes, again, only 70% completed. Again, bad areas. That would say one pass into the penalty area. I think it was a pretty poor ball from that inside right channel. 0 chances created. Antoine, lad. Come on, buddy. His dribbles again coming in their own half. Not enough in the final third. And it was that thing that I mentioned before. Not enough from Greizmann, being in that area, being in the right areas. We look at where he's receiving his passes. You can build up that sort of midfield three from Denmark and almost place them in outside that area. You sort of visualise this in your sort of heads. I'd love to be able to drop things on. Maybe we'll upgrade that later on. But imagine like you've got your three central midfielders in that central area. Griezmann's not receiving balls behind them, to the left of them, in that central area in zone 14, which is where you want to go. But I'm excited to watch Fekir. Fekir is a lovely little player to watch. Technically very, very good. Here we have Sidibe coming inside. Playing a pass back, though, to the centre-half, that is. Or was it? No, it was in Gullican. No, sorry, one of the centre-halves. Lamar back inside. Olivier Giroud off the line. Shot on goal. Woof! Looked like they'd gone in. Oh, no, it's Fekir. Sorry, Fekir. Already had a shot on goal from a decent area. Instant impact. I really feel sorry for players that get injured like Fekir has over the last few seasons. That was a brilliant little moment, though. So he's kind of done more than Griezmann's done in 68 minutes already. Simple. One touch out his feet, smashed it into the roof of the net. But yeah, up-and-coming videos, of course, we've got the Fred Scout report, and the major big one will be the Argentina or Nigeria game versus either Denmark or France. So go and check that out. What time will that be on? I'm asking myself. I am not too sure. It'll either be 7 o'clock or it'll be 3 o'clock, I do believe. But make sure you stay tuned to that and subscribe if you are new, guys. And if you want to support me a little bit more, Patreon, the link in the description below. Click on that link and then buy me a pint if you want to sort of support the Statman Dave YouTube channel. That's you guys. You guys are great. You guys are absolutely awesome. Love you guys 100% of the time. Get into the comments now, guys. Dave, what do you think of Serbia's chances? It's going to be tough. I can kind of see Brazil. Coutinho's looked very, very good in this tournament. Neymar, doing too much. Needs to play the quicker passes, but Coutinho's been very good. We just had a collision in the centre of the pitch with Nzonzi and Delaney. Delaney holding his face, potential elbow there. But yeah, Serbia, I think they need to, again, change of system maybe if they do get past Brazil. We do have currently got Denmark on the counter-attack. A decent tackle from Sidibe. Lukaku for the Ballon d'Or, yeah. Lukaku, in that interview on Player Tribute, said he wants to be the best. And that is a big thing. I love that with a player. I love that sort of mentality that I want to be the best. I want to continually improve. You've seen that at Man United. You watch Lukaku at Everton, you watch Lukaku at United, different player. He's a complete player now. So good. Fantastic talent. Denmark versus Croatia. Goodbye, Denmark. Yeah, 100%. Griezmann done for the day. Griezmann not as pacey as most of the French players. He's just not showing his pace. He's very quick, but not really getting on that. What a shot from Nabil Fekir, of course. What's my lineup tweet for England CDM? Oh no, it was just a mistake, Patrick. Apologies. Got a little bit wrong there. Croatia versus Belgium in the final. That'd be nice. That'd be a nice final. The thing with Belgium, though, I think England will catch them out. In terms of they look a little bit open because they don't defend collectively in a way, like the three forwards, Lukaku, Dries Mertens and Hazard have been staying up the pitch. So defending with 7, never like defending with 7. You've got to defend with 8 in football, and you can allow 2 players to stay on the break. I think that could become an issue for Belgium when they play better teams. I think England's movement is so good with their 2 centre mids, pushing forward into the final third, that it looks almost like Belgium will get caught out by that movement from Jess Lingard. Shout out Jess Lingard. What a performance that was. Fantastic performance against Panama. And he was good in the first game as well for me personally. I thought his movement was good again. Hit the post for some good movement from central midfield. In a 3-5-2, how England play, you need that movement. And without that movement, the team don't work. And Lingard, absolutely talented individual. Can't wait for Argentina versus Nigeria. That's going to be a banger. Is that game tomorrow? It's tonight. Oh, it's tonight. Sweet. After yesterday's Portugal versus Iran game, where I nearly fell asleep. Can't wait for some excitement. That is going to be a great game. Here we have N'Golo Kante playing it out wide to Sidibe. Sidibe in the sort of inside fullback position. Dembele nice and wide, facing up 2 Danish players who defensively have been very good so far. Looks for the cross to the back post, headed out by the Danish fullback. And again, France have just got so much possession, but they're not doing enough with it in the central area. I think Pogba would be perfect for a game like this. Really would be perfect. You think about Pogba as well, his impact in a tournament's been very good. Think about the goals that France have scored. Pogba's been involved in all 3 of them. You take the Griezmann penalty. Pogba played the through ball that Griezmann got taken out with. Header in from Olivier Giroud, and it's gone out for a goal kick. But then I think the second goal, Pogba, has the shot that's deflected and goes in. It's an own goal. And of course, the last goal in the game just gone, Pogba playing the through ball again for the chip, and then Mbappe finished it off. So Didier Deschamps, just laughing at the comments, guys. Keep getting the comments in, guys. Shout out to all the lads. Carrasco is so bad as a left wing back. Yes, that's the big thing. Carrasco is the opportunity for England to get in. You saw the Tunisia goal, the last Tunisia goal. Again, I think I've replayed this about 5,000 times on the Statman Dave live stream, but it's so important to notice these types of things in these games, that this could be the issue for Belgium in these latter stages. Again, scrolling down to the goal, all comes down from this right-hand side. The through ball in a minute. This through ball is played between the channel between the wing back and the left centre back. So Carrasco's pushed up to press where he should be dropping off, which means Vertonghen's got to play higher up, opens up space that through ball. Vertonghen can't get back, played across from Naguez, and then of course Kazawi finishes. That's how you're going to get through this team. You're thinking Lingard's movement in that area, or Dele Alli's movement in that area. That's where you're going to get teared up. That is where you're going to get teared up. Kasper Dolberg, with his absolute luscious locks, blonde hair flopping everywhere, is on the pitch. Maybe some excitement, guys. Maybe we're going to see some excitement, guys. What's the difference between a wing-back and a full-back? I think it's in terms of, traditionally it's the system. So a full-back is traditionally played in a back four. So either side, right-back, left-back. The wing-back term is coined from playing a back three and having, a player that's a little bit more advanced in the defence. That does drop back to a back five, but pushes up to support the wing. It's usually a wing back is usually played when there's no one ahead of them. The term is also used though for players in a back four these days. When you're looking at someone like a Marcelo, that usually on his flank the player comes inside, usually like a Ronaldo, or they're playing a 4-4-2 diamond, where they're really advanced. They play more as a wing back where they're governing the whole side. Though here we have Eriksen in the final third, a poor touch, and Mandanda races out and clears the ball. This game has been absolutely sick, but here we have France on the counter. Play the ball. Here we go. Advantage, a foul on Dembele. Lamar carrying through the Danish half. Ball out to Nabil Fekir. Decent defending though by Denmark again. Dalsgaard with a good little bit of defending. Decent clearance. A little half-dish decent break, guys. Bring on Pogba or Mbappe. Yes, please. Belgium should go with a 3-5-2. Have Hazard running at Maguire. Hazard out wide, destroy Maguire. That's what I want to see. Game being 1-0 off Matthew Jarvis. Lovely stuff. Lovely little bit of analysis there. Completely agree that if I were Roberto Martinez, I'd be switching that. I'd be throwing a body into central midfield, be it Varane, Fellaini or whoever. I basically play it so I'd have Witsel as the central player. I have sort of in the three-man midfield, him holding, and I have Kevin De Bruyne as a right central midfielder, and then maybe Fellaini as a left central midfielder. What you're going to have there is naturally the system will be Hazard as the left striker, and of course Lukaku as the right striker. So Hazard will drift and move around. Think the final, the FA Cup final, where Hazard was moving so well, isolated Phil Jones once. Herrera did a really good man-to-man job on him, but he isolated Phil Jones once, won a penalty, Chelsea win the game. That's what you get from Hazard playing as a striker in a 3-5-2, is that movement, and I think that's been really, really good. But what will it make? It will make for an awful game of football. 3-5-2s when they match up, or three-man defences when they match up, they just make for terrible games if the managers don't change it. If they do, like Nagelsmann has done for Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga this season, there was a game where there was 2 3-5-2s. It was the Schalke game. There's a great sort of management battle where they were like changing little things, moving players around, like you were going from 3 forwards to attacking mid off 2 strikers and to 2 strikers with a DM. Like, it was such a brilliant tactical game. Substitution for France. I do believe Dembele is going off and Mbappe comes on. Dembele's been decent today, to be fair. He's had a good little performance. Always impressed with him when he plays on the right-hand side. So he's been the bright spot for France, to be quite honest, in terms of what he's been doing. Good in the final third, retaining possession in that final third. The 2 shots as well, 2 shots from that sort of inside right channel. Both of them pretty close, actually. The shot map doesn't give it justice, but good sort of movement coming inside and in the final third. He's retaining, but he's just keeping his passes going, but playing quite expansive stuff. 18 out of his 20 final third passes completed. It's been a good game. He hasn't created a goal, or he hasn't scored a goal, but it was a good performance. I think that he definitely deserves to play in the next game. I'd definitely play him on the right wing. I think his link up with Sidibe has been quite nice as well. You always want to have that for your for you two players to link, finding Sidibe 8 times. Again, those balls ahead, that's what you want to see, that overlapping play. That's where France are going to do well, is if they can create that system, the 2 DMs, 2 centre mids and the fullbacks getting really high with Mendy and Sidibe. We're not seeing enough of Sidibe and Mendy actually in the second half, to be quite honest. But Dembele's had a good performance. Again, you're looking at his work rate as well, is absolutely fantastic. His ball recoveries, 4 ball recoveries, 100% of his dribbles, 1 dribble completed, and the 3 out of 3 tackles won. So a very good performance from Dembele, and I'd like to see him in the next game. What do you guys think in the comments? Would you play Mbappe or Dembele? We're going to see a bit of Mbappe on the right wing now, see what he can do. Again, Dembele much better in a defensive sense. Those 3 tackles, as we mentioned before, that he won in the game, covering the fullback. Protection, so important in the European football game at the moment. Is Pogba being rested? Yes, he is being rested, I do believe. That question comes in from Sam Walsh. France looking absolutely useless. Yes, they are. God knows why I decided to do this stream ahead of Argentina, Nigeria. Maybe I was just a bit tired when I was in my decision-making phase. Let's hope there's some brilliant goals in the last 10 minutes of this game, guys. Let's love that. The first 0-0, that'll be, 28 games? Or not 28 now, maybe 29 games, 30 games that we've had goals. Of course we had to do it though once, guys. Got to remember, in the World Cup, you've got to watch the bad games to get the good games. It's one thing about football and life, you just got to remember that. I remember a period a few seasons ago when Lewandowski scored 4 in like 5 minutes, where I was watching some real trash games of football, and then that game came, absolutely blew my head off. Incredible sort of moment that was in German football. But you got to watch the rubbish to get the good. You can't just get the good, guys. You got to love the game. Delicious. Wish you replaced Loro on BBC's coverage. Yeah, but you can do. That is the beauty of YouTube. You can replace Loro with me. You can mute your TV, you turn Loro off, and you put me full blast. You get all the analysis, all the good stuff. You get Stat Zone, you get all the questions, the comments, the interaction, and so forth. So we're getting some Stephen Kingham's going for Mbappe. Other things of Mbappe, no doubt. Just what I'm sort of phasing it as, I think Ousmane Dembele would suit the team tactically a bit better than Mbappe. I agree, Mbappe is a wonderful player. I would drop Greizmann, actually. I would go with a front 4 of Pogba left-hand side, Dembele right, and then I'd go with Mbappe and Giroud. Honestly, I don't think Griezmann's done enough in this tournament so far to warrant a position. He's just not been good enough, and Mbappe, I'd give him the place. Here we have N'Golo Kante, physicality in central midfield, commits a foul. Safe to say France have missed Pogba's creativity? Yes, I do believe that. Please come to India. I'd love to come to India. One day we'll come to India. Do some stuff over in India. France overrated, yep, completely agree. AG TV football. Shout out to Abdul. Statman greater than the BBC commentary, yet you're not, state the obvious, buddy. BBC commentary is utter trash. Can't believe that, actually. Sometimes I prefer watching football, like foreign streams of football, like your Russian streams or your German streams, just so I don't have to listen to the commentary. Because it's utter trash. If it's not Gary Neville, it's not Danny Higginbottom, I'm not really interested at all. Here we have Mbappe, right-hand side. Looks to throw a little cheeky step over. Pass inside. Chance to shoot here. Curled in. Parried by Kasper Schmeichel. Is it going to go out for a... nope, out for a decent save. Look at the goalkeeper there when, what Jordan Pickford doesn't do well is parry those shots away from danger. See how Schmeichel parried that into a situation that one of his teammates could actually clear and didn't even go for a corner. Taking the sting out of it, but getting it away from the goal. Too much Pickford parries it back into danger into situations, and unfortunately I think the British media are going to get Pickford. Sorry, Jordan. Just watch your back. You're going to have some horrible headlines and so forth. Anyway, guys, I'm already doing that game on with Statman Dave commentary. Shout out to Paul Lucas, lad. You are an absolute ledge, buddy. Thoughts on Brazil starting Jesus ahead of Firmino and Paulinho ahead of Fred? I like Paulinho for Brazil. Fred is a little bit injured. I think he's injured at the moment. I'd like to see Fred. I'd love to see, just watching him, see what he can do for Brazil. I've watched quite a bit of Fred, but more Fred is great. Fred. So I'd personally, as a United fan, like to see him over Paulinho. But Paulinho over the last few seasons has been really good for Brazil, scoring a lot of goals, hat tricks and stuff. In terms of the other one, Firmino over not playing and Jesus not playing, it's craziness. Ball in from Sidibe, headed out, decent ball, that nice curvature on it. But the big thing with that is, like, Firmino's had such a good season. Like, for me, he was the best player in the Champions League, and I'd say he was better than Ronaldo this season. I think Ronaldo dropped off in the, he didn't have as big an impact as Ronaldo usually does. Obviously the goal, the penalty against Juve, but there was other players that I thought were better. Ramos was really good for Real. Bale, of course, in the final, what an impact that was. Isco was really good. Modric probably being the best midfielder in the tournament. But the big thing with that was, I'd say Firmino and what he did, you know, the goals, the assists, so good as a footballer. And again, you've got to do that. You know, even if you like someone, I think that's the big thing. Tite likes Gabriel Jesus. Turning the box here, defended, nothing going down. Again, Olivier Giroud looking to get the ball to feet in the penalty area. And Denmark clear. That Kasper commits a foul and the ball goes out of play. This game is thrilling. Brilliant, thrilling stuff, guys. Keep getting your comments and let's answer some comments. Let's not even watch the game anymore. It's dead. It is dead. But Giroud rocking over. But yeah, going back to that little chat, I'd definitely go Firmino. I think it'd suit Neymar a bit more. I think it'd suit Coutinho a bit more. Again, you're going to get that pressure. Jesus works hard, but Firmino really works hard, winning ball back in the final third and so forth. Can France nick a goal? Maybe. Maybe Mbappe, some life back into the game here, guys. Is De Gea still the best keeper in the world? Yes. I think the Spanish defence is letting him down at the moment. I think the mistake for the Ronaldo goal has been blown out of proportion. I think the goals they've conceded after that, they take the penalty, not saving that. The Ronaldo free kick was perfect. The one-on-one, 9 times out of 10, the keeper isn't going to save that. You're also thinking that the corner, again, you're not saving that. It's one of these things where De Gea is still the best in the world. Keep going down. Firmino should start this time. It's unbelievable that it's being benched. It's absolutely crazy. Jesus has scored 10 in 18 for Brazil. Much better for Brazil. KDB, MUFC. What's your thoughts on his performances at the end of the season for City? I've got a few mates that support City, and one of my mates, Alex, shout out to Groomy, he's saying that he looked like he just couldn't be bothered. He looked like the back end of the season, he was like, I just don't want to get injured. I don't fancy this at all. And he looked like he wasn't trying in games and X, Y, and Z. What are your thoughts on that? Get those thoughts in and I'll read them out. KDB, MCFC. Oh, Firmino. Yeah, Firmino should be starting. Yes. Back to that comment with KDB, MCFC. Yeah. Fred not even in front of Fernandinho. He should be third choice. I think Fernandinho should be starting, to be quite honest. I like Casemiro, Fernandinho and Paulinho. I think that'd be good. I think Fernandinho's really improved on the ball under Guardiola. But yeah, shout out to the lads watching the stream. Pretty fun stuff. 157 of you. Thanks a lot, guys. You guys mean the world to me. And we're over 100 likes. Woo! 750 likes, we're giving one of these away. We're going to hit that before the end of the World Cup. We'll hit that in one of the big games. We will hit that for the Argentina game this weekend. We are going to do it, guys. We are going to absolutely do it. Ball out wide. Sadibi, again, advanced. Little dink ball into the box. Headed away. Want to see him hitting the byline a bit more. France, a little bit boring today. A little bit not some good stuff. What non-big name left-back would you bring? Should you bring for United? I'd quite like a big name left back, of course. Philip Max would be one that's sort of not there. Kieran Tierney, I'd love to see Kieran Tierney. Not only is he Scottish, and I bloody love Scotland, I think he's really, really good. Like, he reminds me a little bit when he's on the ball in the final third as an old school like jinky winger, where he'll knock the ball past you, then he'll get the cross in. His delivery's really, really good. Of course, the Scottish League has its deficiencies, but Tierney in the final third is really good. In a way, from what I've seen of Philip Max, what I've seen of Sandro, I think Sandro's going to be too much. I think Tierney would be a great option. And I just want to, of course, big Darren Fletcher fan. Shout out D Fletch, favourite player of all time. I'd like to see more Scottish players at United. I think, as well, his leadership quality. 20 years old, captained Scotland, captained Celtic already. Big thing. I want leaders in this United team, and Tierney would be a good one. Maybe we'll do some videos on Tierney in the coming weeks, guys. So stay tuned to that. But yeah, Tierney would be the guy maybe that's not there. That could be a non-big left back that United could sign that would be sort of good. Other players, of course, Gaya from Valencia. He's always impressive when I watch him. Like him in terms of going forward and defensively, always really, really good. Had a good relationship with Guardes on the left-hand side for Valencia. Quite switched on as well. Quite good at stepping in, intercepting at the right time. So he could be another one that would be picked up. Again, you would have, if I were at United last season, it would have been Mendy. Again, if he'd not picked up that injury, it would have been one of City's best players. Mendy would have been the guy for United. Again, they should have probably gone in for him last season, because for me, he's going to be the best left-back in world football after Marcelo sort of drops away. He'd be the guy that I'd like to see. I'm just trying to wrap my brain. Of course, Raphael Guerreiro again, but he's just been poor. He was poor for Portugal yesterday. I thought he was awful on and off the ball. He's really dropped down my ranking of fullbacks. in terms of what he's doing. But yeah, it's Kieran Tierney, be lovely, absolutely lovely. Lucas Torreira and Socrates can bring Arsenal to top four again. Yeah, I agree with that, Bilbo. I think with Unai Emery, what he likes is this system that France are playing: two strong DMs, fullbacks that get nice and high, working midfield, number 10 that does a lot of work, Mesut Ozil, gonna have a great season. Mesut Ozil, get him in your fantasy team right now. I think this World Cup will really spur him on to get back to that top level that we've seen. Again, Mesut Ozil is a wonderful player. Wonderful, wonderful player. We can't forget that. Ball in from Sidibe. Then Mbappe tries to control it on the outside of his foot. I know Darren Fletcher was a great United player, but why is he my favourite? He was my favourite because that was when I had a season ticket at United, and there was a lot of stuff that you didn't see on TV, the defensive work that you didn't see on TV that Darren Fletcher used to do for Cristiano Ronaldo, the big games. Darren Fletcher was a big game player. Whenever United were good in Europe, whenever they were good and dominant in domestically, Darren Fletcher would always be the guy in these bigger games to turn up. Games against Arsenal, scored 2 goals. I remember that, wonderful performances from central midfield. You think, when United got to their last Champions League final against Barcelona, who played in that midfield against Arsenal that we actually smashed them away from home? I can tell you, Michael Carrick held Anderson and Darren Fletcher. As United fans, we can't forget this, that the reason why Ferguson did so well in these big games because he had workers, he had guys that really wanted to fight for the cause, and Darren Fletcher was one of them. The ability to shuttle out to the wing and cover that right flank for Ronaldo was brilliant, and he came through so much stick. Darren Fletcher, when he played on the right-hand side under Ferguson, yeah, it gave United great tactical ability in terms of 4-4-2. It allowed him to play Fletcher out and play a winger on the side, Ryan Giggs, whatever it was. We got so much stick from that. There's the amount of improvement that Fletcher made. Remember the goal that he scored against Man City towards the back end of his United career with curling shot? Darren Fletcher continually improved. We have got Mbappe in the penalty area, a little cut back. Oh, nice play from Mbappe there, driving through, creating a little bit of fun for the game. But Darren Fletcher, why I love him, his work, his ability, his fire, his determination, his leadership, absolutely everything. Darren Fletcher would have been a United great if he hadn't had that terrible illness that he had and so forth. I absolutely love Darren Fletcher. That's why he's my favourite player. I love Park Ji-sung for a similar reason, that he did the hard work. Used to love Carlos Tevez. Carlos Tevez would also have been up there if he hadn't signed for Man City. You absolute dirtbag. Anyway, guys, back to the comments. The French coach is embarrassing. Correct. Golan from Napoli, from Max Fayers. Again, a little bit of a risk considering its injury record. That would be the only thing. I think you can get him at a pretty decent price. I like him. I'm not convinced. I think he's looked really good in that Napoli side because they attack down the left-hand side a lot with Hamzik, Insigne, Koulibaly's a left centre-half. He gets a lot of ball. I think at United, I'd rather see other players coming in, to be quite honest. That's my personal opinion. Fletcher and Park Ji-sung, so underrated. Yeah, 100%. Lol, that game where you got beat 6-1. Good goal though, mate. You can't. This is the thing with football. You've got to take the defeats with the wins. You've got to take the 6-1. Man City that day were brilliant. They played very, very well. You've got to give them credit for that. But again, Fletcher scored the best goal of the game. But again, you've got to be open as a football fan to enjoy it. What's your favourite formation to see teams play? I like a number. I like the 4-3-3 at the moment. I think that gives you great diversity. I like a fluid 4-3-3. I also like a 4-2-3-1 with a second striker. I love that 4-4-2 shape that Atletico used to set up with. So basically 4-4-2 or 4-4-2 diamond or 4-3-3. My favourite? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Maybe we'll do a poll on Twitter later on. You guys can tell me your favourite formations. Probably go with the 4-3-3 though. Then that's got such a good balance, in terms of attack. So many different ways you can play it. Attack and defence. Boring Deschamps, the first 0-0 of the tournament. Yeah, Didier Deschamps, what a muppet. We'll do some tweets about him later on to wind up the guys. I'm not a United fan, but Scholes is the best player I've ever seen. I used to go to Old Trafford quite a bit to watch Rooney, Ronaldo and Scholes, but I realised how much Scholes really changed him. Yeah, Henry Whittaker, that's when I had my season ticket, and that's when Paul Scholes had finally evolved to this controlling midfielder. It was just a joy to watch United. The tempo was so good. The big thing about Paul Scholes was him switching the play. It was something crazy, like he averaged 11 switches of play per game, and that's mad considering, I think last in the Premier League, the highest per game was about 6 per game, like switches of play, long balls. That's what Paul Scholes did, and that gave Ronaldo those situations. And that's kind of like my basis of football, is that United team was, you switch in the play, you're moving the play quickly, go from one wing, attack down that wing, that doesn't come back through midfield, quickly switch it out, creating those situations. That's why that United team was so good. Switches of play through Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes, an absolute genius. Perfect, guy. And that's that, guys. The first 0-0 of the tournament. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Shout out to you guys for sticking around. I hope I've provided some decent chat in between the game, some content for you guys to enjoy, because that was absolutely rubbish. But we do see France topping the group, Denmark in second position, Peru in third, and of course USA, after a very good start against France, falling out of the tournament. But yeah, let's just chat for a little bit. Let's just chat for a little bit of thing. I think a 4-2-2-2-2 would unlock France's potential. Yeah, that could do it. I kind of liked I've pretty much enjoyed what Lemar did today. I've enjoyed what Dembele has done today. But that was a goddamn dreadful game, Matt Jarvis. I agree with you. That was absolutely rubbish. Do I know any other languages? Speak a little bit of French, a little bit of German, a little bit of Australian. Dark horses of the cup. Croatia are the dark horses. Maybe we won't even look at this game because it was absolutely bunkum. But if you've got any questions about any team in the World Cup, get them in and we'll talk about them with StatZone. Maybe if we're going to tweet that out on social media, we're going to do a Q&A on YouTube. Get that tweeted out, guys. Q&A now, live on the stream. We're going to get your questions in because there's not much to talk about that game because that was utter rubbish. Might as well look at the stats, guys. We've got to look at the stats of the game. The summary, of course, not many shots, 15 shots in the game, only 4 shots on target. That shows you the poor quality. France with 68% of the possession, and they only created 11 chances. That is absolutely rubbish. The key events of the game was just a simple yellow card. That is honestly rubbish. This is the worst stat zone I have ever seen. Zanko with a yellow card. That was the best bit of the game for me. That tactical foul, I got pumped up with that. I celebrated that. But that's all we're going to get, guys. Antoine Greizmann had a very poor game for me. In terms of what he was doing. His shots were very, very weak from cutting in from that right wing. He just didn't have a good game at all. Fekir was exciting when he came on. Very exciting, that shot just inside about a minute of him coming on. And again, the big problem for France is in central midfield. Again, no one's dictating the play in the right areas. This is N'Golo Kante. He had a very similar pass map against Australia, and it was similarly a rubbish game of football. I'm sorry, guys. If I could give you great games of football every single time, I'd love to do that. But that is the big reason for France, is that. And what are France going to do, in terms of the next game? I think Sidibe was good pushing forward. I'd like to see a bit more of Sidibe. I think if they can get that relationship between Dembele and Sidibe firing on that left wing, that would be very, very tasty. That is what I want to see, guys. But I reckon Mbappe is going to start the next game. But like I said before, we're going to do this. We're going to wrap this up quickly and we'll move on to your questions. But like I say before, in terms of France, the likes of Pogba needs to come back in the team. I'd like to see a front four of Dembele playing on the right wing. I'd like to see Mbappe, Giroud as a 2. And I'd like to see Pogba on that left-hand side. Maybe with an Nzonzi-Kante partnership, Pogba can come and try and dictate. That's why I want to see Pogba coming from that left wing, dictating. But it's going to be a big, big game because they will be playing Argentina. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of a defensive, counter-attacking improvement. I thought Kimpembe played rather well, but Titi will come back in, and Titi much better on the ball. But France have just ruined the World Cup. I think that's after 28 games we're seeing the first draw. But keep getting your comments in, guys. We're going to do some comments and some questions, a bit of a Q&A. We're closing in on 50,000 subscribers, guys. So yeah, keep getting that subscribe button and whatever. It's about tonight's games. It is. So tonight's games we do have, again, you can see all this beautiful stuff on the StatZone app. We have Nigeria versus Argentina. So let's talk about Nigeria and what they did quite well. Is that what we want to do, guys? A little bit of thoughts on tonight's games. So the first one, of course, Nigeria playing Iceland. Iceland setting up in their sort of traditional 4-4-2, but it was really exploited by Nigeria's 3-5-2. And again, we'll just build that a little bit bigger. Is that the right one? A bit bigger? No, that's the wrong one. Is that going to show us the lineup? There we go. Beautiful biscuits. What I liked about this sort of 3-5-2 is it was quite both good going forward and attacking wise. The key guy in this system, of course, is Ahmed Musa. Talented, very, very talented guy. Scored 2 wonderful goals. But the big thing, I think, on the break against Argentina is going to be where they're going. They're going to drop back into 5 at the back. They're going to sit nice and deep. And what you'll have is the likes of Victor Moses, who arguably one of the best counter-attacking right wing backs in world football. That's where he did a lot of good stuff for Chelsea. But I think if we take the first goal that they scored, the Musa goal with a brilliant first touch, like that first touch was absolutely disgusting. But the goal, quick win of the ball out wide, carried by, of course, Victor Moses. Brilliant carrying the ball, lovely stuff. Drive, what a first touch. If you've not seen it, he basically dinks the ball up, volleys it in, brilliant goal. But that all comes from a fantastic transition, nicks the ball, break, counter-attack down the flanks. Again, if they do that against Argentina are going to have a lot of problems. The big thing about the the Argentina game, why they were so poor, of course, was just getting counter-attacked in the right areas. Where's this game? Hiding. There you go. So in terms of this game, of course, Argentina-Croatia, the big thing here was the tactics and so forth. I thought my WhatsApp's turned off. Oh well, hopefully I get no more messages there. So Argentina did set up in a 3-5-2. Well, not 3-5-2, sorry, a 3-4-2-1 system. The big problem was, in terms of Croatia, they set up in a fantastic shape, a 4-5-1. Again, the work of Rebic, the work of Perisic, Modric, Rakitic, so good, sitting back, letting them have the ball, then breaking in the right areas. And I think the goal that sort of sums it up and how Croatia tore them apart was the brilliant... both of the goals in a way, but the brilliant Ivan Rakitic goal, again, you can see it, broken from their own half. And again, if Nigeria can do this, if they can break from deep on this right-hand side, they're going to score some goals, guys, and that's exactly what I want to see. Brilliant stuff. Nigeria's formation versus Argentina will cause them problems with a crowded midfield, stopping the service to Messi, which is what Iceland and Croatia did. Yeah, correct. Brilliant shout from Lewis. That's exactly what's going to happen in this game. But again, we've had that lineup announced before, if you didn't miss it, in terms of Argentina. The lineup in terms of what they're going to be playing, apparently it's going to be a 4-3-3. Willy Cabinero is going to be dropped. Armani's going to go in goal, then Tagliafico at left back. Then we've got Otamendi, Macedo, Salvio into midfield, Enzo Perez, Mascherano, Banega, then a front three of Di Maria, Higuain and Messi. Apparently Messi has picked this team. That's what all the reports are saying. But it's going to be a corking game, guys. It's going to be an absolute cork. But yeah, poor old Morocco, they played really well. And keep going down. Is there any Indian in this chat? Any other Indians in these chat? Yeah, shout out to the Indians. What could the future be for Wales with Ben Woodburn and Ethan Ampadu? It could be very exciting. Ben Woodburn looks like a very, very good player. What do you mean they play Argentina? Argentina are fourth and they've got a long shot of qualifying. Nigeria have a serious chance. I just think that Argentina will pull it out of the bag. It's going to happen. I just got that weird feeling. Do teams like France and Germany need to play three at the back? Yes. I think the 3-5-2 is looking like the formation of the tournament. You're looking at the likes of Nigeria switching there. Uruguay yesterday. England looked very, very good in a 3-5-2. 3-5-2 is going to be the one. What's holding up the Sandro deal? Here, United don't want to pay 65 million. Maybe it's the money. Again, you could see someone like, Darmian going the other way would be quite nice. Do you think Argentina will scrape through a win on Nigeria? Will Messi score? Messi's going to score. Nigeria are going to scrape through. Can Uruguay be the Atletico Madrid of this tournament? 4-4-2. Two great strikers. Godin, Jimenez, Chirera, Bentaker in midfield. They could be, yeah, the bad thing with that is, though, Jose Jimenez may be out the tournament. He's been fantastic. How do France have all these talented players, but still so boring and average? I just think it's the manager. That is the big fat problem. What do you think the future in the evolution of tactics? I think it's going to be. We're going to move to a more fluid game. I think we'll see an interchange of formations with and without the ball in the transition. I think you're going to be switching between back threes, back fours. I think the fluidity is starting to be there where you'll go from like the polar opposite systems where you'll be moving from like a 3-5-2 all the way to a 4-5-1. Seamless integration between tactics in terms of like the zonal thing. I think that's going to be very important in terms of moving the ball, opening teams up. I think we're going to see a lot of passing play and patterns similar to NFL set pieces going to become that way. I think NFL as well. The way that they set moves, that'll start to come in open play. That is already an open play for certain teams, especially teams that have played possession de fuego. Lovely stuff there, guys. I'm so embarrassed by my country. Hate Deschamps. He is clueless. He is really clueless. Can I have a shout out from Ireland? Yes, you can, Lee. There is a shout out. But guys, that is going to be that for today. We've enjoyed the game-ish. We've more enjoyed the chat. Thanks for hanging on for this absolute rubbish game. I've been Statman Day. You guys have been the guys in the comments. Thanks for staying with me for this absolutely atrocious game. Last little question. What would England's plan B be if Southgate's 3-5-2 gets found out? 3-4-2-1. Let's wrap up the stream, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Like that goddamn video.